Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Tuesday to everybody. So we just did 3 hours of straight coverage of Chaim Bloom's first press conference, and we're going to continue to talk about it a little bit here. I have a few things to get off my chest. Then at 1:30, we have Ricky Horton for our last hit of the year. We won't pick back up with Ricky again, other than just, friendly stuff until spring training. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, the nice stuff first. Great job, Wheels, to you and all the guys. 3 hours of anything's hard. 3 hours on a 10-minute press conference is really hard. I was just talking to Steve, and we both agreed that we got more from you guys than we got from the presser. Okay, and again, you guys know me pretty well. This is not a sports guy talking. This is just a fan talking who happens to have a radio show. I didn't get the press conference. I thought Chaim Bloom sounded good. I thought everything he said was pleasant. I felt more like I was watching the introduction of the new Bachelor than watching the new president of baseball operations. I thought every question that was asked, every single one, I thought, why are you asking that? That's your best question. You have an opportunity to ask a question of the new, president of baseball operations after everything we've been through, and that's what you ask. But I have the benefit of having Kevin Wheeler to go to. And Kevin explained to me that what I didn't get, and now makes sense, is that it's sort of selfishness. Every reporter in there is going to get a solo shot at Chaim.
Yes.
So they want to save their good questions for that.
I don't know if I would qualify it as saving your good questions, although that's kind of it. It's the right. That's an easy way of putting it. It's the way I put it earlier, but it's also, as an example, I might have a full line of things that I want to cover I think will be a nice, step 1, step 2, step 3. Well, I don't want to do step 1 and then come back an hour later when it's my turn for the one-on-one and have to restart all over again. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you know what? Sometimes you do save your best material for the one-on-one and not for the group.
Yeah,
because then you're the only one that gets the answer if you're the only one that asks the question or explores the depths of that issue. So in a press conference setting, it can be hard to get to the best stuff because a lot of times people do, as you're listening to it, people have their own things that they cover, right? They have their own angles. They have their own ideas about which storylines they want to follow. And that kind of dictates. And when you're always going to have a limited time in the group setting. Typically, they want to keep those around a half an hour. Typically, it's not a hard and fast thing. But one of the first things that the group pointed out, the team pointed out through spokesman Brian Bartow was, look, we will do this. We have this, but everybody here, you will all get your chance to talk to Chaim Bloom today one-on-one. He's set aside his whole day. He's going to talk to everybody. And then when you know that you maybe have 1 or 2 questions in that time frame in the press conference, right? I don't think anybody asked more than 2 questions because you're moving around the room. And then the hard part is you take your turn. Let's say I take a turn. I didn't, but let's say I did. And I ask about payroll. Well, the next person who gets called upon probably is going to change the subject because they have something else that they're going to do. So it gets to be a little scattershot.
And I get why that's good for the media. I don't think it's good for the fans.
No, and that's why you have to listen to us all day and find a podcast that you like and read Derek Gould and read Katie Wu and read John Denton. Or
you could just answer the questions while everyone's listening.
But not everybody's listening at that time. In fact, most people are not tuned in at 10 a.m. in the morning on a Tuesday. Yeah. Most people are going to see it in the paper or they're going to hear it on Sports Open Line, Redbird Rush Hour, DGS, Gas House Gang. You're more likely, your bigger audience is going to be at those times for the people that hear it.
Yeah, as a fan, wasn't a fan.
As a fan, press conferences are typically useless. They're more an inside ball game, but they do it on TV because people are interested.
The most impactful thing I heard was when, and I forget who said it now, but someone said if the low attendance was a message, the message was received.
Yeah.
They needed to say that, and they had the balls to say it, and I'm glad they said it.
Yeah.
The thing I dislike the most And as I told you, Wheels, earlier, it's the lawyer in me. It was when Mr. DeWitt said, Chaim Bloom and I haven't even talked about the payroll. And immediately my sirens went off. If I were a lawyer cross-examining a person, I would say, either you're not being truthful or you're committing malpractice, because I talk to my boss about payroll and budget weekly, and I just have a radio show. I can't imagine that being there 2 years and the ramp up and everything we've been through and taking over, and it's a whole new regime and we'll be playing baseball again in 5 or 6 months, that the owner hasn't talked about payroll with the new president of baseball operations. That doesn't make any sense to me. If you haven't, why haven't you?
Well, the question was about 2026 payroll.
Yeah.
That just means you haven't set a number yet. That just means you haven't decided, because they still are counting up the revenue and seeing where they sit. And they say, we have not come to the number that we're going to set for next year.
But not to be a jerk, but that's not what he said.
No, but that's the context of it.
We haven't had a discussion about it.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the payroll, which specifically was a question about 2026.
Yeah, I would expect them to have talked about the payroll a lot.
Yeah, I wouldn't have at all. That's probably why you didn't get a lot of follow-up on it, because they typically aren't going to box themselves in. An owner's not going to come out there and say, yep, I told him he's got X amount of dollars and that's it. They're not going to do that. They'll give you a ballpark. They might, like in the past, like last year, it was, payroll's going to come down, right? That's what they said last year. Payroll's going to come down. We're doing we're doing the runway. We're doing this stuff. We're not adding big money. They flat out said that. I think it's interesting that they did not say that today. Sometimes what's not said is also informative. Like they didn't say, well, we're bringing it down. Now they may still bring it down, because one of the things that Chaim Bloom talked about was that they're going to have to make some difficult decisions. That was the term that he used in the offseason. Difficult meaning who to keep, who not to keep, who to trade, who might be popular and good, but we still need to trade because our eyes are further down the road than 2026. That will all impact payroll too, right? If you're, say, for example, you trade Sonny Gray. He wants to go somewhere. He's good with where an offer comes from and he takes it. Well, that's going to bring the payroll down quite a bit. And I wouldn't expect you're just going to turn around and spend it there. You're going to try to spend it where you think you're going to be able to make the most impact on it when that time comes.
I get all that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing a better job than he did.
Well, again, I agree with that. Every team in sports needs to be better at communicating. The problem is you're just not going to get that coverage in a press conference. That's the stuff that takes all of the things I just mentioned to get sorted out in, one-on-one interviews, stuff over time. I don't know what they've done so far as organizational meetings, because the season ended Sunday, and they usually do this week where you're having organizational meetings where the field staff gets together with the front office and they get together with the player development and they go over everything, and they're having meetings to figure out what to do about this, who's close, who's not. So I don't know where they are in all of that either. And some of that was, some of that plays into, Mo's thing yesterday, Bloom's thing being today. I'm not sure that they've covered all that ground in a day and a half after the season ended. And that's not that they don't have the takes or the opinions or the evaluations of everything. It's that they haven't all been able to come together to do the meetings that they normally do. You're not going to do that in 24 hours. So that's partly why you're hearing we don't know the payroll, because there's still stuff they're not done with yet. It's the truth. People don't like it, but it's the truth, man. And every team in every sport would tell you the same thing.
I don't expect them to 3 or 4 days after the season ends to have everything. But I doubt what you're saying, in that they're not the super friends. They're not the Avengers. Like, they don't have to be in the same place at the same time to discuss these things. I would think this would be an ongoing thing, that on this Tuesday, September 30th, they would have a better idea together of all this stuff.
They do, but they haven't met with all of the player development people who have been in Springfield and in Memphis and in Jupiter and in Peoria. And you've got people that are new to the organization, and you're going to get, this is the part that I know is really dull and boring for fans, and fans just like, I don't care. Don't tell me how the sausage is made. Just put it on a bun and hand it to me. Right. But the fact is that this is what every team does after a season. They all get together, and in the week or two after the season, they meet and they have in-person meetings, and they'll argue and fight. That's where Mike Schilt got in trouble. It was during those meetings where he probably ruffled a few feathers too many. And that's what led to. So, I mean, like, if that tells you anything, where the manager who's there every day, all day, and he's in the same place as the front office, the owner, the president, the GM, they're all there together. They're all at Busch Stadium. That's where they live all season long. Even there, you can have something that didn't come up before that comes up in that setting. And the hard part is everybody wants answers, and I do too. But I never expected to walk away from today having all those answers. Today's the beginning of learning about this stuff.
And if I left you with the impression that I was also looking for all the answers, I misspoke.
No, I get what you're saying.
I wasn't looking for all the answers.
I'm speaking to the larger group of people because I know how people get. You didn't answer this. They didn't answer what the payroll is going to be, as just one example. What does it matter right now? They're not going to be acting on it until the World Series is over.
I can't get the wash you out of my head.
The lawyer Dave is out.
There's a big difference between what you said. Hey, of course we have discussed the payroll, but we don't know what it's going to be yet. And when we do, we'll discuss it further. Well, then we'll let you know. But to say we haven't discussed it yet, just like, I don't know. The whole thing kind of left me a little bit eye rolling.
I get you. And I know you're not alone. And I'm just saying that statement means nothing. It doesn't change a damn thing about what it's going to be or what it's not going to be. It doesn't have an impact on what this offseason is going to be or what the rebuild's going to be. It's just frustrating. And this is a thing that I've said for I don't know how many years. Teams do need to do teams, and I mean teams, I mean owners, I mean executives, I mean players, managers, coaches, everyone. They all need to do some communications classes. They need to be better because this is how you get misunderstandings. This is how you take somebody who has a predisposition to be, I mean, I've seen a lot of this stuff on Twitter, the predisposition to be mad about Ollie being back because he is going to be back based on what we learned today. No surprise. We all kind of knew that. We knew that because we get context clues. We hear Ollie talking about meeting with Chaim Bloom. We don't hear him worrying about, or talking about things as if there's an end this week or anything along those lines. We can pick up on the context clues. We kind of knew that. Yeah, okay, it kind of became breaking news, but it was also what everybody knew was going to be the case. But then immediately there's pushback. People are mad about it, but they don't even understand what they're mad about. They're just mad that the team's not good enough. And when you're in this kind of a position, teams as a whole, and I think Bloom did a pretty good job at this today in terms of being clearer in communication. I think that's always been something that ownership, not just this ownership, but ownership always struggles with it because they're very rarely in those situations. So they're going to hold back more. They're always going to be on the quieter side. They're typically going to not want to give anything away because what they're afraid of is something that's going to be held against them. As I forget when it was. Oh, yeah, it was so when they fired Mike Matheny and Bill DeWitt was doing the press conference after that and said, yeah, we had a winning record, but that's not good enough here, right? Well, that became something that came back at him a bunch of times in questions about the team under Mike Schilt and the team now under Ollie and the team as it's gone along the last 6, 7, 8 years. And I think that kind of stuff makes them hesitant.
So I would just say this, again, as a fan, you have to know that most fans, I disagree with you. Most fans, this is going to be the universe of what they hear is the press conference. I think a lot of people tuned in for that. And I don't think they did what they should have done as a fan in the press conference to let the fans know what's going on. I thought it was kind of happy horse crap. And I think it was mostly for the sports guys, kind of inside baseball, no pun. But sitting there listening to it, I was left wanting. Quick break, right back.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
When life happens and you need to sell your St. Louis area home, call trusted realtor Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is St. Louis's real estate expert with more than 22 years of experience and expertise, helping you sell quickly and for the most money.
Selling your home can be so stressful, especially when life happens, like a sudden job change, a passing of a loved one, or a growing family. Knowing exactly how much your home will sell in today's market is the first step. Then I back it up with an upfront written guarantee. My guarantee is simple and easy to understand. If I can't sell your home at our agreed upon price and time frame, I'll buy it myself.
When life happens, the name to remember is Gloria Liu, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I strongly suggest you call her right now at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Tell you guys about Neovitin. I think you know about Neovitin if you listen to the show. It is a locally created, made in the U.S., which is important because of the regulations. It's next to many Chinese products, and just because something's from China doesn't mean it's subpar, but it does mean that they don't have regulations. So you hope that it has all the things that it says that it has. With Neovitin, you know that it does. 20 ingredients, vitamins, antioxidants, omega-3 fish oils. I don't like taking big pills. I never have, actually, but the older I get, the less I like it. And these are very easy to swallow. No problem there. Take 2 pills a day. Cost less than $1 a day. A portion of that, the proceeds of every bottle are going to go to cancer research in honor of our founder, Dr. Ken Ribicki, my doctor and my very good friend going back all those years. If you would like to buy it locally, do it right off the shelves at Schnucks and Deerbergs or online at neovitin.com.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Stronger than ever.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 123. Ricky Horton joins us at 1:30. It's our information that John Rooney will be talking to Chaim Bloom,
Yes.
and we may be getting a part of that to play on DGS.
Yeah, it's kind of the first full sit down radio interview that Chaim's doing is with John Rooney for us. Yeah.
Good. Excellent. Good discussion. I'm glad we can do that here in the DGS.
Yeah.
I know more now than I did, and part of my opinion was uneducated, but I think
Part of it's dead right too, though.
Yeah. I think part of it's right on.
Yeah.
You made an interesting comment on the break here when you said that the fandom is different today than it was in the past.
Sure.
That it was more casual in the past.
It was because you didn't have social media.
Right.
And because I was talking about, the Whitey Ball time, right? And Whitey's, look, that was an amazing time in Cardinals history. It was unbelievably fun. It was its own brand, right? It's named Whitey Ball because it was its own thing and it was special. But they had as many losing seasons during Whitey's time as they had the entire time that Mo was in charge here. And that's not to pick on Whitey. Whitey is deservedly viewed as one of the greatest managers of modern baseball history. He is that, but it's about the perspective. In the late 70s, early 80s, even late 80s, when you're getting into the end of the Whitey Ball time, even then, you didn't have every game on TV. You might have had 30 games a year on TV. So you're not seeing it. You're not, unless you're in the ballpark. And by the way, attendance back then wasn't what it's been here lately. It had just started to go up at that time. if you didn't get it, you weren't getting the day-to-day exposure of seeing everything happening. You were hearing it on KMOX, right? You were listening to Jack Buck. You were hearing the call. That's a different thing than seeing it. And then you take out things like message boards and social media and all that. And Bernie brought it up last night, and it's the truth. I got here in August of 2006, and amongst the first things that people were yelling about when I got here and started doing Sports Open Line was that Tony La Russa needed to be fired because he'd been there 10 years and hadn't won anything yet. And people would, I'd get the comments like, I think he's the smartest guy in the room because he went to law school. I bet it was a sham law school thing. That was the conversation about Tony La Russa in late 2006. What happened 2 months later? Everything changed because they won the World Series. And even then in 2006, you didn't have Twitter. You didn't have the access to everything. You might have had some message boards, which is what Bernie Miklasz was referring to when he brought that up. He talked about how the vitriol was there in the early 2000s on the message board that he ran for the Post-Dispatch. Just nonstop fire Tony. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's an arrogant jerk. He doesn't understand St. Louis. Well, he's an outsider. He doesn't live here during the offseason. All this stuff. Now he's St. Tony. We don't have perspective. I don't know why. I don't know why we don't remember those things, but they existed. They were real. And that's why all of this is hard, right? As a fan, you've got to be able to separate what's frustrating you from the context of a team's history and the sports history. And if you only live in the moment, you will only be two things. You will either be ecstatic or pissed off. You will never be in between if you don't consider the bigger picture. Because you're either going to be the team that wins the World Series or not. And the way a lot of fans look at it is if I'm not winning the World Series, it's a failure. Well,
so if I were a lawyer, you would be a great expert witness at this. Do you think that what are the percentages of fans who understand the history and the percentage of fans who just are living in the moment?
Oh, I think a bigger percentage than we believe knows it. They're just not the loud ones. The loud people are the people I'm speaking of. And it doesn't mean they're even wrong, right? You can be valid in a correct in a criticism, but be wrong about how far you're going with it, right? It's a fair and valid criticism. And we've all voiced it, that the Cardinals were, the easiest way to put it was they were negligent in letting the system get the way that it was, in letting their franchise get to this place. But that doesn't mean that the great stuff didn't exist for the 20 years before it.
Yeah. Rach, I miss John Smartmouth.
Oh, I'm glad to be back. And I want to tell people about Smartmouth Gum Health. This is their new rinse. I have been using it recently and I really, really like it. With the Gum Health rinse, you still get the same 24-hour bad breath prevention with just 2 rinses per day that really only Smartmouth can provide. Plus, you get advanced germ killing. It helps protect against bleeding gums. It's anti-plaque and anti-gingivitis, and it soothes your gums with natural aloe. You can pick up the Gum Health rinse nationally at Walmart stores or locally here at Schnucks.
She said it all. Not much more to say. It's the best $12 a month addiction you're ever going to have. It's going to have better dentist visits. You're going to have less everything, and you're never going to have bad breath. We can save you $2.50 off your purchase when you go to smartmouth.com/Glover.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey.
I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman.
From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, right perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM, your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Thinking about a bath remodel or swapping out that old tub for a sleek, easy to clean shower? Hey, it's Trish Gazelle for Michael's Bath with one question. What's there to think about? Michael's beats the competition by 30 to 50%, uses top quality materials, and backs it all with over 30 years experience. And now they'll throw in a free shower door or $500 off. Schedule a free in-home consultation, 636-775-0800 or michaelsbass.com. Michael's Bass, what's there to think about?
Let's check in with Dave Murray's weather forecast.
A big bubble of high pressure keeping our temperatures a little more like late summer, but at least the humidity is low. Plenty of sunshine. Let's warm it up to about 88 this afternoon, a good 10, 12 degrees above average. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures will drop quickly into the 70s once the sun goes down. 63 Wednesday, partly sunny, still low humidity, 86. Same story Thursday and Friday, sunny, low humidity, and 88 each day. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
This report is sponsored by Metro Transit.
All summer long, Metro Day Passes from Metro Transit are just $5, so you can take a summer daycation anytime because your air-conditioned, no-gas to buy super safe, super clean Chariot awaits. Buy yours at metrostlouis.org. That's metrostl.org.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. That's right, weight loss seminar at the Marriott St. Louis West in St. Louis at 11 a.m. Registration 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
It's Tom Ackerman. Football season is in full swing, and the best place to get in on all the action is Underdog. Underdog, where you can select entries and win money right now in Missouri, just like I did recently when I picked 4 fantastic choices on Underdog. All I did was choose which players would go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get your entries right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. It is a lot of fun. Download the app now and sign up with promo code TOM. That's promo code TOM. Sign up for the Underdog app on your phone. You'll receive $100 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code TOM. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing-good-terms_DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
The countdown to kickoff starts here. Friday's focus on Mizzou, the Chiefs, and the NFL. Only on KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Twice a week, we have our pal Ricky Horton, one of the voices of the Cardinals. And last week was our last official one, but because he's a good guy and our pal, he's doing one last sort of a wrap-up for us. Rick, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. Well, I'd be missing you guys if we didn't get the chance to do this, and it's a long winter. But yeah, no, it makes sense to wrap up things, especially after the press conferences the last 2 days with John Mozeliak. Kind of doing his last kind of hurrah, and then Chaim Bloom today. I mean, it made sense.
So Wheels and I just had a really good disagreement discussion about the press conference itself. I readily admit I'm not a sportscaster. I don't know a lot of the art of it, but as a fan, it left me wanting a little bit. As a broadcaster, what was your reaction to Chaim Bloom and the DeWitts?
I actually liked it, and here's why. Well, actually, last year's press conference was not good. I think there was high expectations that there was going to be a lot of change and movement in different directions with not only with the coaching, but with even with Mo himself and with Yadier Molina. There was a lot of this kind of odd kind of expectation that really kind of came out of maybe nowhere, and then it left everybody wanting. And it's so. And we didn't hear much from Chaim Bloom. He was there, but he didn't talk much. But I just think he's so compelling that I think it was good this year. Honestly, I think him kind of setting the stage. Now, it wasn't anything earth-shattering in terms of any decisions that he's made. I mean, he's been in the job for 24 minutes. So, I mean, he's not gonna tell you, I'm doing this already. But I think I just liked his positivity. I actually liked his leadership. I thought he said a lot of things that were high-level leadership stuff that I think will bode well and will resonate well. And I think he's, kind of understanding that, connecting with what it means to be a St. Louis Cardinal and be a Cardinal fan is also good. And I think I really feel like he's very engaging when he speaks.
I agree with that. Let me ask both of you something, and it's something that Bernie Miklasz brought up on Gas House after the press conference. And to paraphrase Bernie, what I heard him say was basically we got to come to terms on this rebuild thing. Like you guys don't seem to want to say it, and we're saying it. So I'm asking the two of you: does it really matter what we call it, or is it important?
Well, I'm going to say internally, you don't want to say rebuild because you're basically saying we can't win. That's why it's different. I mean, I think externally you can say, okay, the Cardinals are not going to go out and sign Shohei Ohtani for $8 trillion. I mean, no, they're going to do that. So if that's what we want, then, and if that's our definition of what a rebuild is, no, we're going to develop from within. Well, developing takes a long time. This isn't the NFL, where a guy goes right from college to be your starting quarterback the next year. We drafted a guy last year and we got all excited about him because he throws 110 miles an hour, but it's going to take him 2 years to be anything. We won't even see him for 2 years. So it's a longer process in baseball, I think. But I think what he said, I think was really key. What Chaim said today is he said, sometimes when you build for the future, when you make decisions that are 5 to 10 year down the road decisions, sometimes you get what you want quicker. And I think, I would think Whitey Herzog did that. And I actually like the fact that he brought up Whitey Herzog, honestly, selfishly, because that's my people. And for him to say, look, we get Cardinal fans, we get how exciting that was, we get George Kissel, we get, Ranch Rickey, who he was. We are going to develop players. But when we say develop players, they understand it. Rob Cerfolio understands that that's not an overnight task.
Right. And he made, Chaim made the point that they need to get back to developing their core players. So when we think of what led to the successes from the early 2000s until a few years ago, it's because you had guys like Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina, and you traded for a young Adam Wainwright, and you finished his development, and he spent his entire major league career with you. They have to get back to that. And most teams, I don't care if you're big market or not, don't compete without that. The Yankees aren't the Yankees without Aaron Judge, who they drafted and developed. And, it's not that, the bigger teams have more freedom to go get more big free agents out there. But none of those teams, including the Dodgers, including the Mets, are going to be what they want to be if they don't have that homegrown core.
Yeah. So you need the homegrown core, and then you need to make good decisions. Actually, if you have the homegrown core, then you can deal them to get an Adam Wainwright or to get somebody that matters. I mean, nobody. So you think about where we were at the trading deadline. We were moving on Phil Maton, who we had for 5 months. We were moving on Steven Matz, who had been hurt a lot. We were moving on Ryan Helsley, who was having a bad year. I mean, it's not like we were dealing, kind of our next level big time prospects either. So I feel like, if you develop well, other things happen well too. And, one thing I actually really liked more than anything that we've mentioned so far about what Chaim said is he said, you can't cut and paste Tampa Bay into this. So I think he was drawing a line that I'm not going to say we're going to get JJ Weatherholt for 2 years in the big leagues, get him to his maximum value, then get rid of him and go get somebody else necessarily. Now, if it fits, it fits. But he was recognizing that Cardinal fans kind of we like our guys. I mean, we want to know that they go to Dierbergs and Schnucks. I mean, we want them to eat Emo's pizza. I mean, we do. Honestly, we do more than any city in baseball times 100. We want that. And I think he sees that and heard that and knows that. So he's not going to be just a wheeler dealer and, give you 20, 25 new faces every year that you don't even know. I mean, I feel like he was tracking that pretty well.
Yeah, it was interesting because it was a question about, how in Tampa, basically, once a guy gets to his 5th year, they trade him because they're not paying to keep him. And that's where you said he drew the line. He do that. And he said, yeah, but we don't want to do that here.
No. He's like, we're not going to have Yadier Molina and have him be a good player, get rid of him. Have Pujols be a good player, get rid of him. Wainwright. So because it really does matter here. I mean, our Cardinal Hall of Fame is a big deal to us. I mean, you go to Tampa and they got their Tampa Hall of Fame is like 3 people. I mean, it's just they're not.
And one of them was mostly a Red Sox.
Mostly, and
Wade Boggs
is their main guy.
Right.
I mean, that's 100% right. And so I'm not criticizing them because and I think his point is you do what's right for your situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I mentioned the word leadership. I heard several, in my opinion, and I'm not the expert, but several high level leadership directions in the things that he said. And I feel like that's going to resonate well with Cardinal fans. I do think he admitted also, look, we're not what we should be. We're not.
Yeah.
I mean, he was pretty blunt about that, as was Mr. DeWitt.
Yeah, that was the first thing he said.
Yeah, so
Yeah, exactly.
This is the perfect day to do this because we're doing our wrap up with Ricky Horton on the day that we were introduced formally to Chaim Bloom. Later on, we're going to have at least a part of an interview that John Rooney has done or is about to do with Mr. Bloom. Let's do this as an exercise with the three of us. Let's take stock, like pretending we are going to buy the Cardinals. It seems to me like the good things we have going is we have a few core group of players that are keepable and are a positive impact.
Yes.
We're making changes. We're spending money. We're really turning around the analytics and the down in Jupiter and all the toys that the boys and the coaches have to play with. That's positive. We have a new voice. He's a strong voice. He has a good track record. What am I missing? What else is on the plus side?
On the plus side, I feel like you've got good people. You have a good infrastructure and a good history. I mean, you have a good history of people. And I thought Chaim was trying to say that in terms of not only his staff that he's assembling and is already in place, but just the whole kind of the experience of being a Cardinal employee is very positive. Not every team has that kind of that infrastructure, I guess. So I think infrastructure is a good thing too, and that includes minor league infrastructure. You've got a great place to be a minor league baseball player in Springfield and in Memphis. So I feel like there's some good other things in place structurally that maybe you just didn't mention this.
Yeah, there's just so many things that the problem is they're under the surface, and that's kind of what Bloom referred to today.
Yeah.
So not only have they hired not only have they hired different people like Rob Serfolio, some of these other guys that have come in for player development, they've hired more people. They were short. They were short-staffed for years. They've hired more.
Kevin, woefully short.
Yes.
I mean, and we were robbing Peter to pay Paul. We were signing Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson and not having a catching instructor in the minor leagues.
Right.
Not having a catching instructor in the minor leagues is criminal in my mind.
Yep.
I mean, you can't do that. You can't have Ivan Herrera get to the big leagues and try to learn how to call a game in the big leagues. You can't. I mean, and so I think that was a disservice to him.
Yep.
But it was also practically the only way to say, well, maybe we can get in the playoffs if we get these two pitchers and we only have X number of dollars. So I think we're spending money differently.
Yes.
And I think it was a good move to do that. And so it's just and they've used the word retool. You can use whatever word you want, retool, rebuild. But I think they were reallocating, honestly, resources. That's maybe the best word.
Yeah. And I think if we dig, on what's happening that we're not seeing, there are all kinds of groups, ESPN, MLB.com, Baseball America, that rank farm systems. Before the year, the Cardinals farm system would have ranked 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah. It's now getting into top 10 range because a lot of the player development things that put into place have started to have an impact. Leo Bernal had a big breakout year at AA as a switch hitting, power hitting catcher. Raniel Rodriguez is 18, already hitting bombs at A-ball, and he should be in high school. That's how young he is, and he's already tearing it up. Liam Doyle is in the system. Joshua Baez just blew up. And this, again, because you're getting better instruction, you got the tech, you got all that, you're actually getting something out of what you already had, and we're seeing it before this transition even began.
So what Dave asked, which I think is a great question, is what are we doing right? I mean, I think you always have to ask kind of what's working on this spaceship as a great line in Apollo 11. But then again, you also have to confront the brutal facts. What's not working, and what's not working is we can't hit home runs. We can't, and so you find those guys and do whatever you can to continue to develop the possibility that you're going to have some 30 home run guys in your system, and go find some more. I mean, I think we definitely need some pop. We need some threat. We need some thump in the lineup. And I think, again, having a focus on that is I think where they're going.
All right, buddy. We had a great year with you, and we look forward to next season. If we don't talk to you again, have a great off season.
You guys are the best. Thanks.
Tell you guys about Mosby Building Arts. Mosby is mine to screw up. There are some clients that I have taken on over 25 years where they're brand new and you don't know them, like Neil Viton, and then we build together. Mosby came to me intact and golden, and like I said, it's mine to put a tarnish on. For decades, you heard Mr. Mosby doing the show on KMOX on the weekends. Now, my buddy Rich Orris does it. Rich is a fantastic guy. guy. At some point, if you use Mosby, you're going to meet him. Our salespeople, our estimators, our craftsmen, everyone is just top notch. There are some places that will almost let you know, like, hey, the end result's going to be great, but you're going to kind of go through it on the way there. There's going to be a lot of things going sideways. Mosby just doesn't accept that. We want the entire process to be enjoyable for you. Right now, we're having the Out of This World sale. Basements, you can get a brand new remodeled basement for just $5.99 a month. Front doors, just $69 a month. There are other things on sale as well. Everything ends on Halloween, so to see what's going on, simply visit callmosby.com.
KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra and their monumental tour, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, to Enterprise Center December 23rd at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. A portion of the proceeds benefit Sightman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. And right now, Trans-Siberian Orchestra is offering their lowest ticket price in years, starting at $55, including fees, only for a limited time. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
New treatments in the fight against Alzheimer's, now is the time for action. Join the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's Saturday, October 25th at Chesterfield Amphitheater. Help us see a world without Alzheimer's. Register today, alz.org/walk.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. So, Kevin Wheeler, take your passion for baseball and talk to me about Superman.
Oh, my God. I sat and watched the new Superman movie last night. I watched the whole thing. I don't know why. I didn't bail. I was angry from 15, 20 minutes in. I just hate watch the whole thing. I did not expect it to be bad. I didn't want it to be bad. I was hoping it would just be okay. Some of it is, but it just sucked. And at the very beginning, I don't want to do the spoilers. I don't want to do too much, but there are things that are holes in the plot that I can't get past. And one of them is, and this has happened with other Superman movies too, why do we have to write Superman like he's a 3-year-old baby? Why do we have him act like he's a complete moron? When the actual story of Superman is his mind is as strong as his body.
That's a good point.
And his mind moves as fast as his body can move. So why is he an idiot? I mean, like that's my basic non-spoiler summary is, why do you make Superman so stupid?
That was my take. Andrew disagreed. Janelle disagreed.
Oh, like, good.
And it's like, there are parts of this I'll say more off the air because I don't want to spoiler, and I don't want to spoil anything for people that are going to see it. It's not entirely terrible. It's not entirely, but I get hung up on certain things, and it bothers me the whole movie.
Because you got no whimsy.
No, it's not whimsy. This was clumsy. See, this was what it was. Is you got to shoehorn Superman into a plot that somehow creates tension, so you got to make him seem like a moron for that to happen.
So, okay, all right. So let's follow this train of thinking that Kevin's got going here. What in your mind is the correct Superman movie then? He just shows up and he's like super great and he's super cool and he's really hot and he whoops everybody's ass, and then we just watch that for like an hour and a half. No conflict, no concerns, no worries.
You gotta
hey, somebody's robbing this grocery store. Well, Superman's gonna show up and whoop him back the next week, and then he's gonna head over to that jewelry store robbery.
It's not hard, and we've seen it in some
whoop
of the
him
other
back
movies.
to next week.
It's not that hard, and we've seen it in other movies that are better. What do they do differently in Avengers? What do they do differently in like? Well, it's a little different because it's based on books, but this is based on comic books, so it's not that much different.
But
what
again,
do you see in other
to
things?
follow what you're talking about, there's no one in the Avengers that is all powerful in the way that
Captain
Superman
Marvel
is often
is
shown to be.
Captain Marvel's basically Superman.
Okay, first of all, this is the stupidest thing we've ever.
Thor
had
is
an
a
argument
god.
about ever. Second of all,
Here's what it looks like.
I don't even want to have this.
I know you
stupid
don't.
Argument.
Andrew's completely different since he has a nice car.
Yeah, he's above it all.
He won't even argue about comics
He's
anymore.
not going to stoop to your level, Kevin
Well,
Wheeler.
I guess what I'm saying is, I don't. In what way did they turn him into a baby?
What's that?
Yeah,
In
that
what
was
way
going to
did
be
they
my question
turn
too.
him
Like,
into
why
a
does
baby?
it seem dumb?
Everything he does in the first half of this movie is like a 3-year-old learning the world for the first time.
It's not a 3-year-old learning a world. It's a guy who's trying to do the right thing.
That's
and
not what I'm talking about. He's the whole character. He's super naive, and he's always like, "Well, but it was the right thing." Instead of explaining things and going through channels and understanding how the world works, because you're supposed to be as smart as you are strong.
Yeah,
You don't just get to do things and be like, "But I thought it was right."
Yeah, that's like an important part of his character in this movie is that he was
That he has
raised
no common sense.
No, he was raised by the right kind of people in America.
Well, wait a minute.
The message about how great America is.
his parents.
I gotta say, and also,
And they raised him to do the right thing.
Talk like that.
His parents look like sister and brother.
They were sister and brother.
I mean,
Well, that explains a lot.
Probably.
Like-
They looked like it.
I mean, he's from Kansas, right?
Yeah.
Why do they sound like they're from Kentucky?
If he was from Detroit, he wouldn't be complaining like this.
I don't. I mean, like they're Missouri and Kansas aren't that different. We don't talk like all that down we're south. I mean,
I have met so many people from the state that talk like
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Andrew on that one.
Did you find it a little disturbing during the love scenes because Lois Lane looks just like our Rachel?
There was a love scene.
There's a lot of making out going on.
That's not a love scene.
I mean, they were like floating in the air for a minute.
I was uncomfortable
I'm like
during some of those kissing
I didn't really
scenes.
clock it that way. I was like,
Those
all right, I love
those
scenes.
two were going nuts on it, and it's like you two have got to. You are on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kept seeing on. I have not seen the film. Full disclaimer, but I kept seeing on Twitter people were like they would do press together, and their chemistry is so potent that people
It's-
are like, "Aren't you both married? You should."
Both of
probably
you are
chill."
married to other people. Her husband made some waves a couple of weeks ago because he liked a comment that somebody had posted on Instagram that was like, "Man, this girl was out of control with this dude in this
Yeah.
movie," and he liked it, and people were like, "Come on, man."
And to be fair, I didn't have any problems with Superman himself. Like the actor was fine, but to me, a lot of it felt like watching Natalie Portman in the Star Wars movies. You're like, this person can act. What's happening here? Why is this stupid? Annie, no.
Yeah, I'm not.
It had that exact same vibe to me.
I'm not totally convinced that Mr. Cornsweat can act. I think he was good in this movie. I don't know if he really
I think
struck me as a
he
good
was
actor.
better than the position he was put into because I don't understand why they do that. And I do. Well, I do because you have to create tension because otherwise, he's Superman. It's hard to beat Superman, but it should be hard. It should be like damn near impossible. But you got to retrofit him into this idea that you had and make him seem like a child.
Well, that was one of the big problems you had with it, right, Dave? Is that this man gets his butt kicked across the whole city.
Yeah, like I got it. I understood the story arc.
Yeah.
Well, now
Yeah.
I have to watch it.
Yeah,
I was not planning on watching Honestly,
Don't watch it with Kurt.
any superhero movie ever again.
Yeah.
But now I have to watch.
Yeah,
this.
don't watch it with your parents in the room.
Yeah.
Like I have
Send Kurt to go roller skating.
He's gonna
I
be
have
like,
seen-
I don't like that guy being close to you.
I have not seen anything on screen that made me like literally like uncomfortable as those two making out.
The good news is that Kurt could beat up this Superman. So
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, pretty much anybody could beat up this Superman.
He was fine. He strikes a large enough shadow. He's a big guy.
Yeah, no, I thought he was a great Superman,
Yeah.
but I don't think there has been a Superman movie where he gets whooped as much as in this one.
And again, I don't even have a problem with that. Although I want to know how. No, I can't because it'll be a spoiler. There's the whole thing about the opening fight sequence. That's what pissed me off first, and I was done after that. And then the next three things made me even more mad.
This would be a lot of fun to watch movies with.
I was quiet.
Kevin's really
I was
cute.
quiet.
Kevin's really cute because his film criticism does suffer a bit because he refuses to give out any spoilers of any kind.
I will not do that.
So he just screejust to a halt sometimes and goes, "Well, I can't talk about it." And it's like, well,
I
that
know.
would support your argument, though.
We'll do this again in a year, and then I can let it go. Just let it rip.
Should I do this? I don't know how I'm going to do my Gelman live without screaming. The energy is palpable in here. Last night when Kevin texted us about Superman, I heard it.
I did too.
I might have swore a little bit in there.
So the Gelman team, they've been with me for 15 years. I've done a bunch of real estate transactions with them, blah, blah, blah. You guys all know this. I can tell you that the guys think that this fall is going to be a very big time with the interest rates coming down. It's going to make winter a very viable time to sell your house. But like I say with all my live clients, I have too much respect for you to try to twist your arm. There's going to be a moment that you and your partner are going to talk about, you know what, maybe this is the right time. Did you see that the house down on Jefferson's up for sale? I've always wanted that house. When the time is right for you, first thing, go to the front page of thegelmanteam.com, put in your address, and we will tell you what we think your house is worth. It's either going to make you happy or sad. I doubt we're going to nail it. And when you're ready to talk, give them a call, 314-336-1991. They're great at communication. They're great at negotiating. And I just can't imagine you're going to have a better experience with any other realtor.
Certain restrictions apply.
Since we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see and hear lots of lawyer ads. It seems that most are bragging on what they got their clients. But be careful. If you heard that someone sold their car for $500,000, you would be impressed. But if you later learned that it was a rare $10 million Ferrari, would you say that person got screwed? And that's before you even know if it's true. Who is fact-checking? And how much went to medical bills and lawyers' fees? If you want to get an idea what your case may be really worth, visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts. You will see what a law firm like ours is capable of. And fact check for yourself. All that glitters is not gold. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won big, a lot. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
It's the most inspiring night in sports. The Musial Awards at Stiefel Theater. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event from St. Louis. Named for Stan the Man, the Musial Awards celebrate those who uplift us through their extraordinary sportsmanship. Experience the remarkable moments and people that make this an event like no other. The Musial Awards, presented by Maryville University. Saturday, November 22nd. Tickets at musialawards.com.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Winner of the National Edward R. Murrow Award for Breaking News. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, we've got a cloudy sky. Right now, it's 87 degrees downtown at the Arch. Missouri Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick has announced an audit into the St. Louis Development Corporation's North City Grant Program.
The program was funded with ARPA dollars and came under scrutiny when it was revealed some of the grants were conditionally approved for businesses and nonprofits that were not located in North City, or in some cases, did not exist. Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick is also looking into whether some of the recipients had improper ties to SLDC.
The conflict of interest that potentially existed on grants that were approved to a board member's family member.
Auditor Fitzpatrick confirmed that board member is Alderwoman Shamim Clark Hubbard. He adds they are also looking into the consulting fee and severance paid to former CEO Neil Richardson. Fitzpatrick says SLDC has been somewhat cooperative so far. He would not rule out criminal charges stemming from this audit, but said they have no referrals to make at this time. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
KMOX has reached out to Alderwoman Shamim Clark Hubbard for reaction. A spokesperson for SLDC only confirmed their knowledge of the audit through a statement. The National Guard in Missouri will be helping ICE.
Governor Mike Kehoe has authorized the Missouri National Guard to help ICE starting tomorrow with administrative, clerical, and logistical duties. That comes in response to a request from the Departments of War and Homeland Security. Kehoe says he is confident their contributions will be invaluable to immigration enforcement efforts and says Missouri is proud to join in the Trump administration's efforts. Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
And as U.S. cities brace for federal deployment, CBS News has learned a multi-federal agency task force will likely start patrols by midweek in Memphis. Correspondent Nicole Valdez is there with more.
A lot of questions still here in Memphis about just how soon we will start to see those National Guard troops in the streets. The president and the governor of Tennessee, Bill Lee, both said they expected that operation to kickstart this week. But so far, we haven't seen any sign of any massive troop movement throughout the city.
Drug maker Pfizer has agreed to lower drug costs under a deal struck with the president's administration.
Today, Pfizer is committing to offer all of their prescription medications to Medicaid, and it will be at the most favored nation's prices. It's going to have a huge impact on bringing Medicaid costs down.
A former Chief Justice of the Missouri Supreme Court tells KMOX the state's new congressional map may violate the Missouri Constitution.
The Missouri Constitution says that the state must redistrict when the state receives the census results, and that's every 10 years. So it was about 5 years ago that we received the results.
Retired Chief Justice Michael Wolff, Professor Emeritus at St. Louis University Law School, says if the argument is that you can redraw congressional maps anytime, then congressional districts could be changed every election cycle.
And I don't think that the people who drafted the Constitution and voted on it really intended for that kind of chaos.
Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. The union that represents actors is speaking out following word that an AI-generated actress could be signed by a Hollywood agency for representation.
While the woman who created Tilly Norwood says people are realizing that their creativity does not need to be boxed in by a budget, SAG-AFTRA union says creativity is and should remain human-centered.
Let's get to know each other, and thanks for watching.
SAG goes on to say Norwood is not an actor, but someone trained on the work of countless professional performers without permission or compensation.
No contract, no.
The threat of AI was a major bone of contention as union actors went on strike in 2023, resulting in some protections. Norwood's creator says she hopes to launch more than 40 AI stars. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Dow from Stiefel down 3 points to 46,312.
big bubble of high pressure keeping our temperatures a little more like late summer, but at least the humidity is low. Plenty of sunshine. Let's warm it up to about 88 this afternoon. A good 10, 12 degrees above average. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures will drop quickly into the 70s once the sun goes down. 63. Wednesday, partly sunny. Still low humidity, 86. Same story Thursday and Friday. Sunny, low humidity, and 88 each day. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
It's a cloudy sky, 87 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. We have two of our good friends here in studio with us, Mike Krakowski, Queen of All Saints, Rick Metzing, the owner of Bar Down. This Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. at Queen of All Saints, they're going to be having a shindig, which we're going to get to in a minute. But first, I got to say, okay, first of all, the stream is going crazy about Cardinals baseball and Superman.
It's been a wild hour.
And I told the guys that when we went on break, I really had to pee. And I still haven't peed because I see Wheeler walk into Andrew's green room.
His little room there.
And he's just windmilling. His arms are flailing.
Well, I knew I could let it go, right? I could let it go because he's seen it, so there's no spoilers or anything like that.
So I walk in there, and it was like hit with a force field.
And as soon as you open the door, I'm like, close the door.
Yeah. And
because I'm yelling.
Kevin slammed the door and went, okay.
I was losing it.
You really let it fly. So if all of you Superman lovers out there, like Christian Earl said, all your Superman takes are invalid.
That was great, Christian. That made me laugh.
You should have been in that green room.
Yeah.
Only the real Superman could have shut him down.
Oh,
I don't think even the real
not that dumb baby Superman. I'd have fooled his dumb ass. He'd be like, oh, don't do that. I'm going to do it anyway. He's like, okay.
Well, there you go. Janelle, no need to come in on Thursday. We have our new movie review.
Don't do that. I know nothing about movies,
That
man.
could be a whole thing for you. Just the screaming guy.
Stupid movie reviews?
Screaming.
I don't understand framing or anything like that.
Let's talk about terms of endearment. What a stupid movie.
Oh, man.
All right, boys. So how you been? How are things?
Doing good. Doing great. We're in our 8th annual Tafton and Cork STL event. Beer, wine, food, tasting event with a live band.
Should have great weather, too.
The weather is going to be perfect. It is going to be fantastic.
How are things at Bar Down?
Bar Down, we're doing really well. We're getting ready to get into our hockey season.
Yeah.
This will be our third actual season going in. We're coming up on our 2-year anniversary on January 19th.
Nice. Awesome. Very nice. For the people who didn't hear you last time, just kind of introduce what the vibe is there.
Yeah. Bar Down Sports Bar, we're a hockey themed bar. We're not only a hockey themed bar, but we were sitting on top of a ice rink and roller hockey rink. So that's what drives the business, there right now. But you can come in and watch NFL football on Sunday, Monday, and Thursdays, pick up a baseball game, pick up some cold beers and some great food.
Where are you guys located?
We're at 11133 Lindbergh Business Court, St. Louis, Missouri, 63123.
Good old South County bar.
Yes, sir.
I said probably 6 months ago on the show. So I'm a lifelong St. Louisan, but I grew up over on the east side. So I didn't get here until law school, and the whole where'd you go to high school? This is all new to me. But now that I've gotten to know St. Louis, I said about 6 months ago that if someone came from Norway and said, introduce me to a real St. Louisan, I would drive to South County. Like, to me, South County sort of just like St. Louis.
Right.
You probably feel the same way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now all the North County people are pissed at me.
There goes the viewership.
And what are we?
Yeah. Yep. They're all doing the Kevin thing, swinging their arms around.
East side's going, David.
How you feel about the season?
I like where we're at right now. I think we're playoff contenders, but we'll see how the season goes. We got to pray for no injuries, and we'll see how it goes.
Kev, you ready to make the switch over to Blues hockey?
Always, man. I grew up on hockey as a kid. I mean, I grew up watching Hockey Night in Canada every Saturday night, and obviously have covered the Blues since 2006. So I think I was telling the guys before that, this time last year, I didn't have a good feel for where I thought they were. I thought they were kind of stuck, like got to wait for some contracts to expire, and some of the guys had gotten old. But stealing a couple of guys on the restricted free agency with Broberg and Holloway, I think helped change. It wasn't the only thing that changed everything, but some developments, the Cam Fowler trade, which at the time didn't feel like much, but it turned out to be a huge deal. I feel a lot better about where they are, and they got some good kids coming too, not just like Snuggerud and the guys that are here, but there's more coming. How
is the Armstrong into Sneed going? Analogize it to Mo and Heim.
I think it's similar, except that similar in idea similar in the sense that we're transitioning from one boss to the other boss. But Army's still going to be around. He's just not going to be the day-to-day GM. That's going to be Alexander Steen. Big difference though is that Steen really has such a huge part of Blues history already in him. Right? Chaim Bloom never worked for the Cardinals until a year and a half ago, where Steen's a part of everything that's happened in the last 10, 15 years. In fact, that trade that got him and Carlo Koliakovo from Toronto for Lee Stempniak was one of the big things that helped turn them back to being contenders, because they needed a D-man, and Carlo was like the main part of that deal. And Steen was really an underperformer, first-round pick that was playing like fourth line, didn't really click in Toronto. He got here, and all of a sudden, wow, this guy with an opportunity could play, and he was real, and he was a leader. So I think it's actually a better and easier transition because he already gets it. And he knows the players, and he's known them for most of them for years, especially the vets.
Big question, and all three of you can answer this. I know you guys are big hockey fans, but what has been the vibe? What has been the story since we won the Cup?
In what
did
way?
We lose a bunch of guys? Did we take a step back?
You lost Alex Pietrangelo before, you had some transition in the roster. So older guys leaving, Alex Steen retiring. Free agency and the salary cap caught up too, and that's something that our Army was actually really honest about the last couple of years. Like, look, we had to make decisions. We couldn't keep everybody. We couldn't make promises to everybody. We had to make decisions because that's what happens in a capped league. And I think that's partly why the Blues probably got a little less. I don't know if you guys agree, but it felt like a little less heat than the Cardinals do, in part because the system does kind of wrap you in a bind in hockey, where when you get good, you get high on the cap. And then when you get capped out, okay, well, you're stuck. That's what it is. And if you have injuries, if guys get old or whatever, well, that's kind of is what it is. But it's been in between. It's not been disastrous. It's not been ugly or anything like that.
Do you like the parity in the league based on all that?
Generally, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love the fact in hockey that anybody who makes the playoffs can win it, which is, it's true in baseball too.
Yeah, we proved that. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about your event again at Queen of All Saints this Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. People show up. What are they going to see?
It's a food and beer wine tasting event. We have a general admission ticket that is currently going for $40. That's everything included. So the taxes, the fees, the credit card fees is $40 out the door. We also have, food and drink. So we've got 18 food partners, and Rick is one of those. You're going to come and taste some of his delicious food. We have about 86 different varieties of various alcohol, beer, wine, seltzers, cocktails in a can, you name it, a few bourbons and stuff like that. We also have a designated driver, a Coca-Cola designated driver ticket for $15. That's for the people that are going to be in our responsible drivers, or maybe just somebody doesn't want to have any drinks. So we got Coca-Cola and some water from them. We also have a live band called the Z Band. Great band. You already know the weather's going to be incredible. The stars should be shining bright.
Yeah.
This is a community event. It is not designed as a fundraiser.
Okay.
So if you've been to any Catholic events or really any type of event, right? You go there, you buy your ticket, and then all of a sudden you get shut down, right? Hey, we got a 50-50. We got baskets. We got this. Once you buy your ticket, there is zero. You don't need to touch your wallet again.
That's great.
So
that's great. Rick, take 60 seconds and do a little live for Bar Down.
Oh man, where do I begin on this? 2 years is up and coming, right? We're excited. I guess the biggest thing that we've been doing is listening to our customers. They ask for different beers, they ask for ales, they ask for ciders. So we brought in the OCAS for Oktoberfest. We brought in the Blake's cider, some different pizzas. People were asking for different pizzas. We upgraded that. We're still using Pete's Italian Baking. Great pizza. It's fresh, never frozen. We're also adding some vegetables for some of the people that maybe can't eat that fried food. So we have lemon pepper chicken. We have plenty of salads, veggies, and then we have some of the same stuff that people have been coming for the last 2 years.
Nice. Well, congratulations. 8 years, right?
Yep, this is our 8th annual. And Dave, we'd like to also offer a special for the DGS listeners. If you go to TaptonandCorkSTL.com, you'll click at the top left. There's a ticket button. That's going to take you to our Eventbrite site. You'll go to the tickets, and in there at the very top, there's a promo code. If you put in DGS, hit apply, you'll get $5 off. So your ticket will be $35.
Thank you for that.
Sure.
That's very kind.
No problem.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. DGS on KMOX. Happy Tuesday.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade. Dana Carvey. Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall. Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities. And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips. Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
So yesterday I did my first live endorsement for Bethesda Health Group. If you listen to the show all the time, then you know that I have been partners with Bethesda now for over a year. My mom was in a Bethesda facility for 4 months before she passed away. And I shared at the time, having no idea they would ever become a client, that everyone there was great. They took great care of her. No complaints about it. They were very sweet to my mom. Well, my mom was in a skilled nursing facility, and I'm talking to you guys about retirement communities. So the people who will move into one of these 7 amazing places will be active and vibrant and self-sufficient. And a lot of them are tucked away in neighborhoods like the one I talked to you about yesterday in Kirkwood. I visited another in Webster where you're literally a couple hundred yards away from restaurants and shops and things like that. Let me highlight the Oaks at Bethesda, beautiful villas located at Big Bend and Berry Road. They offer the comforts of home without the burden of home maintenance. 46 villas, each with a 4-season room and oversized garage, clubhouse access with exercise room, library, private party accommodations, very high living, not high cost, and no responsibility. So just wonderful. You can go to BethesdaHealth.org, or you can call the Oaks at 314-686-4250.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
1120 AM, 1041 FM, and streaming on the Odyssey app. KMOX is with you, however you listen, wherever you listen.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Two things to say. Then I'm going to turn it over to my friend Rachel. First of all, I've said this before, but last night I was watching Hakeem Jeffries on something, probably CNN. And once again, he said the big ugly bill. That's enough for me to not vote for Democrats. Like, you are the leader, the minority leader in the House of Representatives of the United States of America. It just offends the comedian in me or the marketer in me. Like, they say it's the big, beautiful bill, and you're like, I got it. We're going to change beautiful to ugly. And it's like, go outside and practice falling down. That is such a fail. So stupid. That's one thought. I was in the zone for this next thought. You know who's been making a fortune forever? Cardboard box companies. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Mm-hmm. Like, I get stuff delivered all the time from Amazon. In a cardboard box, I have to believe essentially the way it was when it was invented by George Washington or whatever it was.
One must think.
These efforts just been sitting back cashing these checks.
Yeah.
Like, no one. We have a helicopter on Mars, and no one's thought of a better thing than the cardboard box.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
And we recycle them, so they probably don't even have to make a new cardboard.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that was just that genius back during that time. I don't know.
Yes.
One more thing, Rach, before I throw it over to you for Razor's Edge. I saw Fantastic Four.
Oh, really?
I liked Fantastic Four.
I hope I do.
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. And the one thing I loved about it the most, it's in an alternate universe. So it's Earth 828. I love that. And what's so fascinating is set sort of like in what would be our 1950s or 60s. Like the television and the cars and things like that are very retro. And yet they have like faster than light speed spacecrafts. That was cool. I thought that was kind of neat.
If you like that kind of 60s superhero aesthetic, I highly recommend the Pixar movie The Incredibles.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, yeah, I figured you would probably have seen it having, Nick and Phoebe, but yeah, that's got that same kind of aesthetic, and it's excellent.
Razor's Edge?
Yeah, I want to talk about Meta. So recently, they have used back to school pictures of schoolgirls to advertise one of its social media platforms. They're using pictures of schoolgirls to advertise to a 37-year-old man. Mm-hmm. So Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, Threads. Threads is like the Twitter X ripoff that Mark Zuckerberg created. This man is saying, like, yeah, I was on Facebook. I'm scrolling and I see a advertisement for Threads. And it was Meta using pictures that parents had posted of their 12, 13-year-old girls in like their Catholic school uniforms or what have you, going back to school. Meta is taking those pictures and using them as an advertisement. Real people, real teenage girls, preteen girls.
Without their consent, I'm guessing.
Well, I guess you've consented to it by using the platform, but you don't realize what you're getting into, right? They're using this as an advertisement, and the man said there appeared to be an aspect of sexualization because they weren't using any boys in school uniform. He said it just felt really inappropriate and really weird. So then the parents of the small children who appeared in these posts were very upset whenever they found out. They're saying, like, yeah, I mean, when I post a photo like this of my kid, I'm not thinking that it's going to be taken and used as an advertisement for a middle-aged man to use a social media platform. Meta is basically saying like, oh yeah, okay. The images don't violate our policies, and these are back to school photos that were posted publicly by parents. We have systems in place to help make sure we don't recommend threads shared by teens, and users can control whether Meta suggests their public post on Instagram, yada, yada, yada. The point I'm trying to make with this is an evil company. This is a company that they are not doing anything without intention behind it. Like the thought of like, oh yeah, we just didn't think you guys would mind if we used pictures of those preteen girls in our advertisement in a kind of a sexual slant. We didn't think anything of it. You guys are kind of the weirdos for taking it that way. Like, you're joking, right? You think I'm stupid? As if you don't meticulously plan everything you do. Of course it was intentional. Of course you're getting away with everything you can possibly get away with. And then we catch you and we say something, and then you roll out like a very soft protection and want a standing ovation for it. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. And I think we should all just keep that in mind when we're using these platforms. They don't have our best interests in mind at all.
I think while you were gone, Rach, we had to talk about when someone's caught at something, and when someone's caught at something and their response is to go, I can't believe that you're like that. When I'm caught, that's what I do.
How dare you suggest?
Wait a minute. Are you meaning to say like that?
Are
Sounds
you
like
saying
what
that we're doing the thing that we're totally doing? Yeah, I think
take it down, Rach.
I think eventually they did. The 37-year-old Instagram user who like exposed this, who received the post, wanted to remain anonymous, and he said, look, this happened to me over several days. I was repeatedly served Meta advertisements for Threads that exclusively featured parents' images of their daughters in school uniform. Some of these images revealed these girls' names. He says, as a father, I find it deeply inappropriate to repurpose these posts in targeted promotion to adults.
Yeesh.
I mean, should we all just get lawyers every time we sign up for anything?
Yeah,
because I mean, in reality,
this
shouldn't be small print stuff.
Yeah,
this should be huge disclaimer up front. We want to use all of your images for ads for free, and by using our app, you are giving us permission to do that. It should be you should have to click yes on that.
Yeah,
right up front. Not here's your terms. Go here and look on this little page, and it's in 4 font, and you can't even see it.
Yeah, and I guess my message too is I don't want to tell anyone how to parent, but just be really careful when you post your kids online. You're signing away sometimes into a situation like this. Of course, it never crossed your mind that a billions and billions of dollars a company worth this much money is going to like scrape your content for an advertisement and use and exploit your daughter.
Yeah.
Of course, that doesn't cross your mind because why would it? But it is something we have to consider at
the
this point.
fourth richest guy in the world can't hire child actors or models or
And
use
why
AI?
are you why are you using a 13-year-old girl to advertise your social media platform to a grown man? You know that's a grown man. You know everything about
They're
this
gathering
person.
the data for every person. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's very gross.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, quick break. Right back. DJS, happy Tuesday.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman. From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM, your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Tell you guys about Michael's Flooring Outlet, the easiest, simplest live that I do all day, the easiest, simplest live that I've ever done. It's flooring. And when it comes to flooring, like everything else, right? Like recently I've had a bug up my butt looking at drums. I have 3 drum sets. I don't need any drums, but it's exciting to look at drums. And when you look at drums, you have really good companies like DW and Ludwig and Pearl and Yamaha and Sonar. And within those, you can get an entry-level kit. You can get a professional kit that's not a gazillion dollars, or you can get the $10,000, this is the nicest drums that we make in the world. Same way with flooring. You have Shaw and Coronet and Mohawk, and those are your DWs and Ludwigs and Pearls. And within those, you have like a kind of a starter indoor-outdoor kind of carpet. It's great. It's great quality, but it's not what you want in your formal room. Then you have the normal carpeting. This is good enough for anyone in the world. Then you have the luxury, where it's that room that as a kid that your rich friends, like you couldn't even go in there. You certainly can't take Kool-Aid or pizza. We have it all. We have it at better prices than anyone else because we know what we mark up and we mark up less. We shake your hand. We look you in the eye. We don't follow you around the store, but we're in the store if you need us. It really is kind of perfect. MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com.
Dave Murray's forecast is sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm.
A big bubble of high pressure keeping our temperatures a little more like late summer, but at least the humidity is low. Plenty of sunshine. Let's warm it up to about 88 this afternoon. A good 10, 12 degrees above average. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures will drop quickly into the 70s once the sun goes down. 63. Wednesday, partly sunny. Still low humidity, 86. Same story Thursday and Friday. Sunny, low humidity, and 88 each day. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Looking for some iced caffeine, left you in the cold. No one knows why brown water costs as much as liquid gold. Told them your name was Brian, why does this cup say Nicole? But then you found paradise in your cup at the Quick Trip. No regrets to start your day.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. That's right, weight loss seminar at the Marriott St. Louis West in St. Louis at 11 a.m. Registration 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
Get ready, because here they come.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's Beatlemania all over again with the Fab Four, the ultimate tribute to the Beatles. Entertainment Tonight says seeing the Fab Four is just like seeing the Beatles.
Hey Jude.
The Fab Four takes you through the 60s with the music that changed our lives.
Yesterday.
It's a show you won't want to miss.
Saturday, October 4th at the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
Herman's Hermits, starring Peter Noon.
Something tells me I'm into something good.
And the Lovin' Spoonful.
Do you believe in magic?
Saturday, October 25th at the Family Arena with the Hollies' greatest hits, starring Terry Sylvester. Get tickets now at the Carroll House Furniture box office, located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Herman's Hermits, starring Peter Noon and the Lovin' Spoonful.
Thursday night, the NFL is on KMOX. The Rams, the 49ers.
Siteman Cancer Center game time, 6:30. Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Rams, the 49ers on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. So if you're watching on the stream, that handsome man there is Steve Ewing from Steve's Hot Dogs, the Urge, Steve Ewing Band. So I told Andrew a couple weeks ago, I'm like, get me Steve Ewing. And he's like, what do you want him for? I'm like, I just want Stevie. And I miss him. Just get him in here on the show. It's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you too, brother.
What's new?
Oh man, just a lot of the same. We do have a cool Urge show coming up in November, our typical November show.
Yeah.
This year we're celebrating 25 years of Too Much Stereo and 30 years of Receiving a Gift of Flavor. So yeah.
That can't be right.
It's like,
that can't be right.
Uh-huh.
Man, it's happening to us.
It is. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I just turned 61. Who turned 61?
You do.
I'm the old. No one's done it before me. It's
never
just
happened
crazy.
yet,
It's just crazy.
Yep.
It's just crazy.
It is.
You still look 40.
Well, I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
You look fantastic.
Yeah, so just trying to keep going with Urge. This year we're taking more and more offers for Urge shows. For a while we just didn't take as many. All of us were like super busy doing a bunch of stuff, and so we're just trying to make some more time to do some more Urge shows, and we've already got a few on the book for next year. So yeah, so just
I always ask the guys from Monstero this question because they've done the show so many times.
Yeah.
And you get together for rehearsal. How much is there already? Like when you guys get together to prep for the show, is it pretty much all there? Is there a lot of work to be done?
Well, sort of. It's just the little things that make you tight, where you're not thinking about playing the songs anymore, where it just comes natural. So that's when we get in the rehearsal. That's what we're working on, So we really like, yeah, I know this song. And then this year, with Too Much Stereo record, there's probably like 4 or 5 of those songs that we never played live. It's one of those records that just was cool in the studio. It just didn't translate live for us.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of learn those songs, actually.
Was being in the studio way back when you guys were first starting that, was it like you thought it would be? Because every musician dreams of going in the studio and making the next Guns N' Roses album. Like, was it pretty much the way you thought?
The experience is different every time for us. Like early on, we didn't really have a whole lot of money, so going in the studio meant we had to have it all together for the most part. We go in and track it almost live. And then,
like the early Beatles.
Yeah. We didn't, because you don't have a ton of money to go in there and just fiddle around. So it has to be ready to go and you just track it. And then the last 2 records we made, we had budget. So we spent more time in the studio, crafting things in the studio, playing with sounds. And that we kind of got that feel on those 2 Sony records that we did.
Yeah.
Got that rock star feel too. It was kind of cool.
So Jimmy Griffin and James Wolburn from the Pretenders were just in promoting Evolution Fest last week.
Sweet.
And we were talking about this phenomenon. I was talking to Devin Cahill. She was in here a week before that. And I've only experienced it truly in sports and in a band on stage. And you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because you've done both. It's that rare moment. Like with my band, I played 500 gigs, and I bet it's happened 50 times. When you just lock in in a way that's almost supernatural.
Yep.
It's not that you're all just playing great. Something paranormal happens.
Oh, yeah.
And it only lasts about 10 seconds.
That's the zone, yeah.
It's the best.
It's the best. You want to try to stay in that zone.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The audience doesn't always know you're in the zone. Like sometimes in my opinion, I'll have the worst gig I've ever played and be like, that was the best gig I've ever seen of you guys. But there's gigs where I know I'm in the zone and we're just perfect.
Yeah.
And they're like, that was a good show.
Yeah.
But it's like the audience doesn't always know when you're just perfect when you're in the zone.
Yeah.
They almost kind of don't even care.
Yeah.
I think they kind of like it rough around their edge a little bit. But
Yeah, that could be.
I know what you're talking about, though. It's awesome.
Yeah. And when you're good, and I'm not saying I'm good, but when you're good at something, because there's so many times that I'll say to Rach, I'm not David Letterman. I don't like break my lamp with a baseball bat after the show or something, but I'll say like, that wasn't a great show. And then I'll invariably get a text from someone going, that was a great show.
Yep.
Like you said, it's sort of just happenstance. You just don't know.
I don't know yet.
So I remember, I don't even know how many years ago it was now, you will, but when you came in to do the show and you thought Steve's Hot Dogs might be going away.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
that was a turning point.
Totally remember that. Yeah, it was a whirlwind. It was we were ready to go. I was personally ready to go. And so we made the announcement, and then I came in and talked to you and some other folks, and yeah, it was my mind. That was it.
Yeah. What happened? How did it take off again?
My partners, Danny was working as a consultant for me for marketing stuff. And she's really good at writing the press releases and stuff. So I said, can you just write the press release? I'm ready to hang it up. Can you just let the public know? So she's like, okay, I'll do that. But if after this week, we'll give it a week after this week, let me know how you feel about this. And I think she had an idea that we would have the support that we got from the city. So for that week, after I announced it, we experienced record sales, like enough to really just pay off almost all the other debt we had and just kind of start over. And she's like, do you still want to be out of it? We'd love to be partners with you. We think you have a great thing here in the community. And she built, and so I'm like, yeah, I think if I have partnership, if I can go forward with you guys, I'm into it. So yeah. So
it's like a movie.
Yep.
It's like It's a Wonderful Life.
It's like you're ready to jump off the bridge.
Someone's like, give me a hot dog.
Every time someone rings a bell.
That's right.
Someone just had a foot long.
It's totally like It's a Wonderful Life.
So I saw a TikTok of you, and you said, oh, these new buns. And I'm like, say that again?
Yeah.
Tell me about your new buns.
So our original bun came from Vitale Bakery, which was across the street from our original location. So that bread came out of the oven and was served within 2 hours. It was perfect. As we grew and we had, the restaurant open at nighttime in multiple locations, it was hard to do that. So we went with another bakery. We went with Companion, which is another local baker, and they did a great job of constructing something that was hearty and had a good bite to it that would just last longer. And so what we keep getting also, though, from our customers, from a lot of customers, especially new ones, is that we want a softer bun, like a more of a traditional kind of bun. So we got one, a really high quality one that'll give us like more that ballpark kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
So we added that to it. So now we're kind of like, you can order your hot dog with any of those buns.
Oh, that's great.
So you can get a pretzel bun, you can get, we have the gluten-free bun, you can get the soft one, and then you can get the hearty, like Italian roll.
Our generation, we didn't grow up with Kaiser rolls. We grew up with Wonder Bread.
We grew up with Wonder Bread.
Yeah, Bunny bread.
Yep, that's exactly
soft
what it
white
was.
bread and a hot dog.
Yep.
I didn't know there was other bread. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
Like hamburgers, white Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
Hot dogs, white Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
First time I saw a bun, I'm like, who are these trillionaires?
We didn't have buns either. Everything, like you, everything was just on bright bread.
Yeah.
Just like, and it was good. I liked it.
You didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? What do you still want to do? Whether it's musically or it's with the business, like what kind of keeps you up at 3 a.m. thinking, I think I want to do this?
There's a couple of other, things I think of business wise and just in my future. I'm a relatively fit guy and I love fitness and I love that world. And so I feel like at some point I'll probably segue into doing something in the fitness world.
Okay.
If not just for, helping folks around, nearby or just, just making sure I stay in shape.
Are you still competing?
This year I'm not, but I'm planning on the NPC show for the spring.
Oh, great.
Which is in April, which is good. It's earlier this year. So
I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but when I was in college, I was big into bodybuilding, just obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
I was at SIU, and this makes me believe there might be a God. It was spring break, and they were having all this stuff going on campus, and I saw a flyer for the Mr. SIU contest.
Cool.
So I train.
Nice.
And I cut and I tan.
Yep.
And I show up that day in oversized clothes because I don't want to see my competitors to see my abs.
Yep.
And the first guy comes out and he weighs about 400 pounds and he's wearing a duck outfit. And I realized, oh, it's not a bodybuilding contest. This is a spring break contest. Can you imagine the humiliation had I gone first and started doing double back poses. Oh my God. I slunk out of there like I had a bomb in my head. Oh.
But I mean, you walked out of there in like really good shape, though.
Yeah. Better than the first guy.
Right.
So where are all the Steve's hot dogs now?
So we have Chesterfield at the Hub. We have the Maker District on Delmar. We have our main store on South Grand.
Yeah.
Grand and Juniata. And then we're at the Enterprise Center, the Dome, and we are at Energizer Park.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hot dogs.
A lot of hot dogs, yeah.
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 So when's the Urge Show?
The Urge Show is November 28th at the Pageant.
Okay, excellent.
Yep.
And you and I got to get our bands together. I know we're working on that.
Yes, I cannot wait for that.
We got to make that happen.
I think, and Julie was really trying to get it to happen just recently, but I think it'll be, I think she's right. It'll be an awesome show.
We'll get it going. That's Steve Ewing. Thank you, my pal.
Yeah, man.
KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra and their monumental tour, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, to Enterprise Center December 23rd at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. A portion of the proceeds benefit Sightman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. And right now, Trans-Siberian Orchestra is offering their lowest ticket price in years, starting at $55 including fees, only for a limited time. For more info, KMOX.com/events. If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
So divorce, sadly, is a part of life. Been there, done that myself. Handled a couple hundred of them when I was an attorney, mostly non-contested divorces. Never did anything like what Susan L. Ward does. She does lots of famous people and lots of rich people and lots of normal people. So she's no respecter of person. You don't need to have $1 million at stake, or it doesn't need to be a $30,000 divorce. If you're just normal couple and you're trying to work it out together and trying to keep things cordial and not get into a fight for your sake, for the kid's sake, for the sake of the bank account, she's great at that. If someone is pushing you, perhaps physically, emotionally, financially with the kids, and you need someone to fight for you, trust me on this, having known Susan for 30 years now, there's no one tougher and better. There's no one is nearly as fierce of a protector as Susan L. Ward. If you give her a call at 314-783-9400 or reach out at stlfamilylaw.com, let them know that you're from the show and she'll give you a free consultation.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now, promo code RADIO.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house, on the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. So everyone that's ever been on this show who's in radio comments how fast it goes. Like, it is just a freight train, good or bad, man. It just moves
It's good
from
every day.
one thing to another. But this show has been, I can't believe it's almost 3 o'clock. This has been like especially fast. We had someone get upset that we were talking too much baseball in the first hour, but I mean, we're KMOX. It's a flagship station. It's a big
also
day.
one guy out of everyone that's commented.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So our buddy Derek Gould just gave us some more information, which is really interesting.
And this gets kind of to the point that I was making earlier for people that missed us earlier, that at the initial press conferences like this, that's not where you're going to get the most information, because it's always going to be quick and it's going to be surface level and it's like one thing to the next. And you're going to learn the more meaningful things in the coming days through the individual conversations that happened after that, right? Just as an example, Derek Gould tweeted a little bit ago that he had his conversation with Chaim Bloom. And it's more than one thing. Like, as an example, said he sees that they need to add starting pitching, maybe in free agency. So that's an interesting note that was not going to be addressed in that setting, but is addressed later on. But then he also said, this is from Derek Gould, saying that releasing Arenado is, quote, not an option, according to Chaim Bloom, that if they can't trade him, then they'd be happy to keep him as the third baseman. So that's a bit of news. That's not something that necessarily came out, because, again, if I were going to get the one-on-one with Chaim Bloom, that would be what I would save for the questions in my interview. Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily just throw that out there in a press conference setting.
What do you think? How's that hit you?
I don't know yet. I got to think about it. I don't love the idea of being tied to a declining player when you're rebuilding. I understand why they're going to say that. Well, because number one, if you say, well, if we're not going to trade him, we'll release him. Well, then nobody's going to trade for him. So there's a little bit of a messaging thing there, right? Because they'll just wait for you to release him and then they can go pick him up. So that's, I'm sure, a big part of it. But also there are people in the sport, not just the Cardinals. There are people in the sport that just wouldn't want to do that to a player of his level. And now it happened to Albert. It happened to Albert with the Angels. They eventually got to the point where they did release him. But a lot of teams don't want to do that. They whether you call it, they don't want to be disrespectful or they just don't like the way it feels. Players of that magnitude, they tend to not want to do it. I don't know what's behind that. But I would say that, me personally, I don't think you're going forward enough if you have a 35-year-old declining third baseman playing every day next year.
Is Arenado, does he have one more or two more?
So he's got 2 more years under his contract. The second one, though, is a reduced number. It's only like $15 million. It's not as big of a deal.
Next year's how much?
Well, it's 35, but the Cardinals, I think, are only on the hook for 30 of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to simplify it, because I've heard you guys on Rush Hour and a million times talk about this. And I thought I'd heard one of you say, basically, that, look, you're going to pay him $30 million either way.
Yeah.
In one way, he can hurt you
or at least not
log jam.
At least not help you move forward, right?
Yes.
If you don't want to say hurt, that's fine, because I know the team wouldn't look at it that way, but you're not moving forward with an older player that's been in decline. That's how I view it. It's nothing against Arenado. He's a great guy.
Yeah. And
he is the kind of guy where I understand you might want some of your young guys to pick up some of his habits. But some of the young guys haven't. And he's been there for the past couple of years. So I'm not, but again, but who knows? I don't know. Maybe they look at that and they say, if Weatherholt picks up some of his habits, that'd be a great thing. I mean, they could have a deeper thinking on it than I do. My thinking on it is to create playing time and to avoid this, but we don't know. What if they trade the other guys that would play there for now? What if they trade Gorman? What if they, I don't know what they're going to do. That's the thing. We don't know what's next, but Bloom did say they're going to have to make some difficult decisions this offseason. Basically, we got a lot of roster work to do.
So here's my input as a fan. If he doesn't completely screw up your plan, to me, because it's not my money, I'm not paying anyone $30 million, but to me, it's not the worst thing in the world to have a Hall of Famer who's still very solid defensively and soft offensively, that's not a killer.
It's not a killer unless it's holding someone else back.
Right.
That's the only way. So again, depending on what they do, if you're making moves and it's not holding anything else back, okay, that's fine. Right? That's my beef has been that because they won't sit him when he's healthy and he's older and maybe sitting more would help him. And who knows, maybe that conversation will happen. Yeah. Maybe that'll be more, hey, listen, we got to rest you more to get more out of you. Because Matt and Bernie and I have all talked, we all agree that he would probably be a better player with more rest.
Well, and you know so much more about this than I do, but I don't want Gorman to be my third baseman. I just don't. I don't want him to be my second baseman. I'm just kind of out on Gorman. And if Weatherholt's going to be up here, he seems more natural at second than third. So I don't know that he's
played more second.
I don't know that you'd have someone pushing Arenado in the back if Gorman's gone.
No, not so much, right? Or if you clear other things out and then Gorman's the DH and Herrera, because they've already said they're going to give Herrera. Ollie's already said they're going to give Herrera a chance to earn time as a catcher again. So they can do things that can make it work. But again, what we don't know is what are they going to trade? If they're going to trade Brendan Donovan, okay, that opens up a significant spot. If they're going to trade Alec Burleson, or if they're going to trade Gorman, I mean, like all of these things that could come up, that will help me, at least when we get to that point, decide whether or not I'm worried about a player holding someone else back or just holding the lineup back. But if you're in a rebuild, the numbers aren't the end of the world.
Yeah.
And if you're not holding a player back from getting the playing time they need, then it's not the end of the world. So it's all about, so if you turn around and trade those guys for pitching, and then you're going to just slot JJ Weatherholt in at second base, and you've got it all kind of laid out in a sensible way, it's that, then that scenario, it's not a terrible thing to have Arenado back.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just a matter of what it looks like.
Yeah. Just so you know, programming here, John Rooney did a sit down with Chaim Bloom. Andrew is listening to it now. He tells me it's very good. He's going to cut it up and give DGS about 5 minutes of it, which we'll bring to you either at the top of the hour or at 3:15. We're trying to decide which one it's going to be. Let me tell you guys about Underdog Fantasy app right now. Speaking of sports and making a little money at the same time. And for me, it's less about the money. Like, I don't put enough down to get a bunch back, but it enhances my enjoyment of the game. I'm watching the game. I'm going back to my Underdog app. I'm seeing, which players have come through for me, which players haven't, that kind of stuff. So it's really fun. It's really simple. To me, it's kind of the perfect center of the Venn diagram between simple, straightforward, and fun. All you do is pick higher or lower on stats, whether it's hockey, baseball, football, soccer, and you can win up to 5,000 times what you put down. You only have to put down $1 at a time. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code Glover to score $100 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. Must be 18 and in Missouri. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms apply. Visit assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_HTML.
For your best vision, visit the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. They're the doctors' doctors. And what that means is more than 250 doctors trust their eyes to the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates, Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranja Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. So you should trust your eyes to them as well. Doctors Birdie and Malhotra are also cornea surgeons. They're experts in diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye, dry eye, allergy eyes, cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, and yes, they do LASIK surgery as well. So do it today. Make an appointment with the doctors, the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates, and protect your sight. Call them at 314-966-5000. That's 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com. You can find Ophthalmology Associates at 12990 Manchester Road, just a half mile west of 270 on eastbound Manchester. youridoc.com.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me! That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Get insights on the go. Download the California Psychics app today.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, we've got clouds out there. It's 87 degrees downtown at the Arch. A new era of Cardinals baseball begins with Chaim Bloom taking over as the club's new president of baseball operations.
While the club is expected to modernize under Bloom, he is quick to cite past success as a roadmap to the club getting back to winning at a high level.
This organization, at its best, sets the standard for the rest of baseball. That's what set this organization apart for 100 years. Going back to when Branch Rickey literally invented the farm system, a short walk from where we're sitting here today, to when George Kissel revolutionized how the game was taught, to when Whitey Herzog went all in on a style of play that set the tone for the sport for a decade.
Bloom making those comments at a Tuesday morning introductory news conference. He also cites the more recent past and how the Cardinals have been trailblazers in the amateur draft and how they have used data. At Busch Stadium, Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
Cardinals president Bill DeWitt III acknowledges
we know that the first priority to get fans back is winning.
But he tells KMOX there are other areas important to the customers as well.
They want to see value, whether that's concession pricing or parking or ticket sales or ticket pricing. That's very important to them. They've told us and we've heard it. And then I would say the third thing is security.
DeWitt says ticket prices, except for some highly in-demand zones, are staying about even for next year. He also says they're working with the concessions contractor on new value menu food items. A full audit is being conducted into a troubled ARPA grant program.
The North St. Louis Small Business and Nonprofit Grant Program is being subjected to a full audit, according to State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick. KMOX previously reported issues with the program included grants being conditionally awarded to businesses and organizations that did not exist. While SLDC said they paused the program to reassess, Auditor Fitzpatrick says they have yet to receive any proof that happened.
Our investigation has not been able to determine that those re-reviews actually took place, that they said they were going to do that, but that they did not produce any records to us indicating that those reviews actually did take place.
The auditor says they are also looking into the severance and consulting fee former CEO Neil Richardson was paid upon his exit and whether grants were improperly awarded to an SLDC board member's family, confirming that member is Alderwoman Shamim Clark-Hubbard. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
A resolution from the St. Charles County Council.
The council extends its deepest condolences and sympathies.
Denouncing political violence after the death of Charlie Kirk. It passed unanimously, but not before public comment highlighted the heightened political rhetoric.
I'm sure you'll get up here and regurgitate some twisted micro quote from Charlie Kirk to try to paint him as something he wasn't.
I am going to share quotes and statements that Charlie Kirk has made over the years.
The measure honored not just Kirk, but also 2 Minnesota politicians who were attacked in June. Could Missouri voters upend the state's new congressional map? KMOX asked retired Missouri Supreme Court Chief Justice, Sioux Law Professor Emeritus Michael Wolf.
Within 90 days of that law being passed, if the opponents gather a certain number of signatures, and I think the number is about 120,000, the law then goes on the ballot for the voters to say yes or no to the law. So in effect, it's a citizen's veto.
Wolf says the redistricting effort could also be challenged under constitutional provisions for the timing of the maps, as well as over the size and geography of the districts. Republican Governor Kehoe signed the legislation Sunday. It divides what was a traditional Democrat district in Kansas City. From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, lower mortgage rates are helping spur home buying activity.
Pending home sales rose a stronger than expected 4% in August from the previous month, also up about 4% year over year, thanks to stronger sales activity across most of the U.S., with the Northeast an exception as sales declined. Pending sales are usually reflected a month or two later in the monthly sales data. The National Association of Realtors says that lower mortgage rates are enabling more buyers to go under contract, with the 30-year fixed rate at its lowest level in nearly a year at around 6.3%.
Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index now to Stifel and Scott Bedell. Scott?
Good afternoon, Michael. Hello, everyone. Stock markets finished the month posting the best September monthly performance in 12 years. At the 3 p.m. closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average had risen to a new record, up 81 points, or 0.2% to 46,397. The Standard & Poor's 500 index higher by 0.4% to 6,688, while the NASDAQ Composite Index added another 0.3% to close at 22,660. The Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index up marginally, closing at 1,610. Looking at some stocks of local interest, Reinsurance Group of America gained a little over 1% at $192.13. Bear Corporation up 2.75% to close at $8.29. On the downside, Stifel Financial sliding 1.25% at $113.47. Bunge fell 1.4% to $81.25. Finally, Build-A-Bear Workshop lost a little less than 8%. They closed at $65.21. This has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, we invite you to visit our website at stifel.com.
It's a rather warm last day of September, but with the low humidity, it's not too hard to take out there, but temperatures are well above average. Plenty of sunshine. We should peak out at about 88. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Beautiful evening once that sun goes down, and the days are getting shorter. 63 for the low. Wednesday, partly sunny, 86. Thursday and Friday, sunny and 88. Again, humidity stays low all week long. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, PennMutual.com/STL. Are you considering life insurance? Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask your independent advisor or go to PennMutual.com/STL. Partly cloudy right now, 87 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 307. Happy Tuesday to you. Gorgeous day out there. Dave Murray will join us in about half an hour. I believe today's the warmest day of the week. I think it gets a little cooler from here, so that'll be nice. Tomorrow's the first day of October, for the love of God.
Oh, my goodness.
Shouldn't be 90 degrees.
I knew that, but I wasn't expecting you to say
mind?
that. Yeah, that feels weird.
Feels good to me. October's my fave.
Is it?
Oh,
like
yeah.
the one?
I love it.
I don't think I have a favorite month.
Shorts, hoodies, beanies,
All of it.
Birkenstocks.
The whole
Love it.
mess.
Love it.
Mhm.
Love everything about it.
You should build your perfect outfit without concern for how it actually goes together.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That would probably be mine. It would be during the summer, it's got to be a jersey. But my very fave would be during the fall, nice, soft, probably another man's worn it for a few years off of eBay.
Naturally.
Hoodie, some loose gym shorts, my Birkenstocks, a beanie. I'm good. That's my perfect outfit.
All right. You need
You
a
look
weird.
nice today, Wheels.
What's that? Yeah, I got a collar.
You look like
got a
Professor
collared
Holt.
shirt.
I got a collared shirt. I wanted to look good for the new boss, you know?
Yeah.
The new baseball. No, I didn't even meet Heim Blue. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just, I didn't want to,
Well, speaking
dress
of
it up
Ryan
a little
Bloom,
bit to be in front of everybody.
We had the press conference today where he was introduced, and then there were breakout sessions where he met with several reporters and sports writers in private. One of those was with John Rooney, and we have about 6 minutes of it for you here. I've not heard a second of it, so I'm going to be listening with you. Here you go.
I know the Cardinal fans are interested in the futures of Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras, Nolan Arenado, veteran players with good-sized contracts, and what the future holds for them with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, and each of those guys is a little bit different individually. Was able to talk with all three of them before the season ended. Great conversations, all class acts all around. Really enjoyed those conversations and just getting to know them over the past couple of years. Their situations just are all a little different. You know, with Nolan, this has obviously gotten a lot of coverage over the past year plus. I think he and we are both aligned that just because of where we are, both in terms of players and some of the roster depth we have on hand, in terms of where we are as an organization and where he's at in his career, that the best fit for him and for us may be for him to be somewhere else in 2026. And so we are going to partner with him and try to figure out what that could look like. Obviously, we won't have anything on that until we really get into the off season. But you know, that is a distinct possibility and something that could work out best for everybody and something that we're going to pursue. In the case of, Sonny and Wilson, there's a little more nuance to it. Look, anytime you're talking about the long term, the way we're talking about it, there's always a chance, and maybe a good chance, that we may be presented with something, a trade opportunity for a player that just benefits us and is more in line with those goals. And we will think about those opportunities if they arise. And obviously, with having no trade clauses, those players have a say in it. So they'll get a chance to decide on that. Both of them, I think, were very, very direct, very open, very clear with our media on where they stand. And, in the case of somebody like Wilson, who's expressed that he wants to be here, wants to be part of this process, we appreciate that too. And that's something really that you love hearing from a player, that he feels this place has been enough of a home to him, that he wants to see this through. And, my hope is, obviously that he ends up, if he's here, as he hopes to be, and as he may well be, if he's here, that he's able to really help us on that path. And I don't take it lightly that he cares that much. So we'll see what the offseason brings in all those cases. But, a lot of times when you hear about potential trades, it's thought of, they don't like this player. None of that would be the case with any of these guys. It's really more just a question of, is there something that makes sense for us and makes sense for them, given the goals that we have and where they are in their careers. And so we'll see what that brings, what happens with that during the offseason. Too early to know, but something that we will spend some time exploring.
And now you get to work a little bit closer with the DeWitts, and they've just done a wonderful job here in St. Louis of setting the tone, building a culture. And how does that look with what you have in mind for the culture you'd like to see with the St. Louis Cardinals and the DeWitt family?
Yeah, they've been super supportive. Their reputation in this industry is really, really good. A big reason why I came here. And, just the consistency of how they've operated this organization has stood out. It's really easy in this business, especially as an owner, when you're in the public eye all the time and often taking heat, taking criticism. It's really easy to get distracted from how you want your team to be run. And usually the teams that are able to stay the most consistent end up having the most success. And in my chair, that's so much of what you want, is just, for the goalposts to stay in the same place so you can plan and you can strategize. And they've been very consistent with how they want this place to be run. They've always consistently wanted it to build from within. They've always supported it with investment. When the revenues have supported that and reinvested in the team. And they've been great with all the investments that I've looked to make on the infrastructure side since coming in here. They've been supportive of all of them, and those in the long run, I think, are really going to pay off. And it's been great talking baseball with them. This is a baseball family. This is about as much of a baseball family as there is. I mean, for our fans who don't know, go read up on the DeWitt family, and you'll see what I mean in terms of baseball being in the blood there. It really is a baseball family that shows through. When you have a principal owner who will talk to you about the catcher defense comments in the game reports on a catcher you have an A-ball, I'm not even sure how many of our staff read the catcher defense comments in the game report, let alone our principal owner. That is not normal, and that's really cool.
As we wrap things up with Chaim Bloom on his first day as Cardinals president of baseball operations, what's your message to the fans as you go forward?
Well, first of all, I just want all of our fans to know that I understand, as much as I think you can, as someone who's pretty new to this organization, how much this organization means to you. I obviously, growing up a baseball fan and understanding what it's like to live and die with what your team does, I know how many people have that type of connection with this organization. That's not something I take lightly. And I want to deliver to you, and we will deliver to you what you're looking for out of this organization. And, part of the reason that I wanted to sketch out such a clear goal today is because I want it out there so that you, our fans, can hold us accountable to that. I wanted you to have the roadmap that we're trying to use that as we think about moves, so that you can think along with us. This is an incredibly smart fan base that follows this game very closely, that understands how the game works. So the clearer I can be with our goals, the more direct I can be, the easier it will be to follow us and to get behind, I hope, what we're doing, and ultimately to really feel every bit of the personal investment you deserve to feel in the product that's on the field and in the winning product that hopefully someday soon will be on that field.
Okay, that was John Rooney with a few minutes with Chaim Bloom. I think that's about a fourth of the total interview.
Yeah.
Which you'll hear more of on Rush Hour and more of on Sports Open Line.
We'll do another short clip on Rush Hour Sports, and then the full interview will be on Sports Open Line. I think Matt said coming up after 6:30.
Okay.
For the start of it, and then it goes for a bit. It's pretty in-depth, yeah.
I'm a dork. I can't tell you how often I'm sitting on my couch watching television, doing show prep, listening to you guys on my phone. So great shows.
Oh, thank you.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the big things that people are going to be asking about are those immediate things, right? Like the veteran players there at the beginning, talking about Arenado and Gray and Contreras. And I think he explained it there as well as you probably can in his position, right? They're going to try to do what they can to move Arenado. And as we pointed out, the Derek Gould report earlier that they're not going to release Arenado. If they can't trade him, they'll keep him and play him. But again, depending on the other moves, might make sense, might not. We'll evaluate that when we get to that time. But that's kind of the stuff he led to at the beginning today was they're going to have to make some difficult decisions. And I don't think it's that difficult to trade older players when you're kind of restarting the engine, so to speak. But I want to repeat to people that it's important to understand that today is not day zero in the rebuild. Today is a year and a half into the rebuild, right? I mean, this is almost 2 years into it because Bloom was brought in as a consultant, did all of the evaluation under the hood. This is what we need to do. Sold that to the DeWitts and said, look, this is the plan. I'd be happy to do this with you. And then, of course, they hired him, and he's spent the last year implementing everything at the minor league levels, hiring staff, putting in the technology, working, with getting the right, not only the right staff, but the right staff numbers, the number of people. And so really it's a bit of a head start, which is kind of why we made that comp to the Blues, right? Alex Steen taking over for Army. Well, it's not a big transition. You're already there. You're doing it. Everything. You can hit the ground running instead of coming in fresh off the street today. Well, let's say this was a normal thing and Mo stepped down and you did the whole interview thing now. And then the guy comes in a month from now and now he's starting fresh. Now you're starting at zero. This is not that. So it's a little bit ahead of. So if you're thinking, well, these are always 4 or 5 year plans. Well, you're already 2 years in. So it's just a matter of straightening things out and then seeing what the young players are so you know where you need to invest. It's always important to have that core. So if you know that J.J. Weatherholt's good and you know that, and I'm saying if, we don't know this yet, if Liam Doyle's the real deal, if some of these guys are actually going to be good, all right, now you've got them cost controlled for a period of time and you can then turn around and spend on what you need as opposed to trying to spend to just patch holes left and right because you got leaks everywhere.
So before I got back into baseball a couple of years ago, I would always feel bad for you guys during the off season because I'm like, what the hell are they going to talk about for 6 months?
The off season's the busy season.
This one especially.
Yeah, it generally is, but this one will be for the Cardinals for sure. I can't imagine this roster is going to be anywhere close to the same as it was this year. It's going, especially on the position player side, it's going to be radically different.
All right, quick break. Right back. DGS.
Do you have a dark curiosity? Heart Starts Pounding, Horrors, Hauntings, and Mysteries is a weekly podcast hosted by me, Kaylin Moore. Each week, I'll take you on a dark journey through terrifying true urban legends, bizarre true crime cases, chilling tales of backwoods horror, and more. So if you're looking to join a passionate community of the darkly curious, check out Heart Starts Pounding on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, stay curious.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Tell you guys about Dr. Corey Solman. So when my mom fell and broke her hip, obviously Dr. Solman was the first doctor that we called, but she was taken to MOBAP and Corey didn't have privileges there. So he's like, here's the doctor you wanted, MOBAP. It's great. My point is, it's great to be taken care of. It's great to know people when you need something. So now through me, you have an orthopedic surgeon. Hopefully you don't ever need to meet Corey professionally, but if your little soccer player goes down and is crying and swollen knee, or if you have a car accident, a slip and fall, any, like with my mom, an older person falls and hurts their hip, just know that he is one of the best orthopedic surgeons in the entire country. And then I will vouch for him as a person, as a human. He's just very easy to talk to, very charming, very outside the box, great bedside manner, going to make you, your kids, or your elderly loved ones feel very comfortable. 636-231-5881, or just remember Solman, SOLMAN, SolmanOrthopedics.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You asked, we delivered. KMOX, now on FM. Crystal clear sound at 104.1 FM.
.322 DGS. We have Dave Murray coming up after the bottom of the hour. Stop said we have the think tank coming up at the top of the hour. Been a great show so far. At least I've been having a good time. Someone on the stream, it's too far back now. There you go. Now that October is right around the corner, are there any plans for a Halloween show in the DG? As I always loved the paranormal investigations of the Limp. So I have had a complicated relationship with my Halloween shows. It's one of the things that the show is best known for. It's one of the things that kind of gave me a name to begin with. And then COVID hit. It was just difficult. So we did some retrospective shows and such. So this year, 1 week from today, is the first year in about 4 or 5 that we're going to do an actual investigation. And I won't tell you where, but I can tell you that it is in the vicinity. We're going to have to drive an hour or so, and it's a haunted house, and there's not been a lot of investigation to it. And we have some partners, my friend Frankie, who does this basically for a living. And he said, I got this great place. It's really hot. It's really scary. You guys will be one of the first ones in. So we will tape that a week from tonight and then present it to you on Halloween proper, which is a Friday night. So yeah.
How did I not know this?
So get ready.
This is great.
It was almost tonight. Oh, yeah, it was scheduled for tonight. And then, like, yesterday after my accident and everything, Andrew's like, I'm guessing you don't want to go to the Halloween
Yeah, it's like,
show.
I'm thinking maybe vibes are not great at the moment for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we carpooling?
Yeah.
Is Andrew driving?
I could drive.
Oh, boy.
He's like, I got it.
Ooh, I could drive. I've been
you.
looking for a road trip.
Man, I do want to see ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh, you really don't see them very often, do you? More like stuff happens around you.
Yeah, I've never seen anything.
Yeah.
Well, I have in my personal life, but I'm weird. So all the things I've seen are around sleep.
Okay, right.
So
yeah.
I can pretty easily accept that it was a
Maybe it
waking
was something
dream
else,
or
yeah.
something like that. But that's happened to me 3 or 4 times. I've definitely experienced things over the 25 years, the Halloween shows and the DGS. Probably the one that's is always my example. It's not that satisfying, but it really happened. I'd rather tell you something real than make something up that scares you. But when we did the Exorcist house back in 2008, and of course the vibes were crazy because no one had ever been in that house and no one had ever done an investigation. And it was late afternoon. The sun was still out. And I was with Nick, the owner, and I went to look at the bedroom where the exorcism happened. And it's just a bedroom. And I told Nick, that's just a bedroom. I could sleep in there. And he goes, yeah, that's my bedroom. He's like, the little boy's bedroom's back there. So I go back and it's this crazy tiny little room, dark floors, dark walls. It's just oppressively small. And I'm kind of like, taken out of the moment. And I hear Tony Colombo say, Dave. And so it sounds like he's right outside the door. So I kind of shake myself back and I walk out there and there's no Tony. So it's the kind of house, it's a 2-story house. There's stairs. And then on the back, like most 2-story houses, there's a big window. And we had all of our equipment set up in the backyard. And just like that, it took 3 seconds. I look out there and there's Tony. Tony's outside.
Yeah.
With everyone else. I'm literally alone in the house. Nick's out there. Everyone's out there. No one was in the house with me. And not only did someone say my name, but it was Tony.
It sounded exactly like him.
exactly like Tony. Huh. And that scared me. And then the rest of the night went worse. Yeah.
It was bad, huh?
I went home after that show. I woke Maureen up and I was crying. And I said, I think I did something really bad tonight because the people were so scared. Like, it's on video. I'll show the video tomorrow. This one lady.
So you mean you had listeners?
Listeners were there.
Oh, okay,
They didn't know where they were going.
Oh, okay.
I put them in the exorcism room with nothing but a camera and a candle.
And they did not know that's what it was?
They knew it.
Okay.
By that time, they knew the whole thing.
Okay, by then they figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was really something.
Really?
In this video, you see this black mass come out of a wall, go past her, and there's a candle behind her, and you see it go from a regular flame to about a 6-inch flame. And then the black thing goes out the other wall, and she screams bloody murder. And Jim and I ran up there and caught it all. And it's not like This was an attractive woman. It's not like she turned into someone else, but her face was so full of horror that she didn't look like herself.
Really?
I've never seen anyone that scared. And that's what I felt so bad about.
Dang.
Yep. From that right into a live endorsement. Speaking of scary, don't go with another attorney but Cantor. Cantor Injury Law. Mark Cantor is a friend of the show, a friend of mine. He's been on several times. You have so many choices when it comes to personal injury. I just was rear-ended by someone last week and totally crashed my car, and thankfully I'm okay physically. But if I weren't, then I would have the same decision you have or may have in the future. Just be careful. As soon as this live endorsement runs, you're going to hear a little clip that says the choosing a lawyer is very important. Don't let advertising be your sole thing. That's so true. I am disgusted by the way other plaintiffs' attorneys advertise themselves. Mark is a real guy. He's a serious guy. For the second time in his career, he made the Lawyers Weekly top 10 power list for the top 10 lawyers in the community out of thousands of lawyers. The most important thing is he's a trial attorney. He has tried many, many, many cases to verdict very successfully. Most of these guys never do because they're chicken. Call him at 314-628-9999 or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Cardinals season may be over, but in St. Louis, sports never stop. The Chiefs are chasing another championship. Mizzou football is making noise, and the Blues are back on the ice. Every weekday at 5, Rush Hour Sports keeps you ahead of the game with news, traffic, weather, and the biggest stories in sports. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, and Bertie Nicholas. 3 trusted voices St. Louis fans count on. Rush Hour Sports, weekdays at 5 on KMOX.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
If you need to sell your home to buy a new home, it's never been more important to have an experienced negotiator you can trust. You need my friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty on your side, fighting for every dollar for you. Check out thegelmanteam.com. That's thegelmanteam.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, it doesn't look bad out there so far this afternoon. Just some slow going so far. If you're traveling westbound on Highway 70, you can run all the way out to, approaching Highway A out to 61. It's bogged down. Westbound Highway 64, you're busy from Kings Highway out through Clayton Skinker, from Lindbergh out to 270, a little slow west of Clarkson to about Topgolf, a little slow down west of K, and then 364 out to 70, kind of busy. South 270 is off the pace from Page down through to Doherty Ferry. Northbound Manchester to Ladou's busy. There's a little slow stretch approaching 44 and approaching Tesson Ferry after that, but not that big of a deal. South 170, the Parkway to Brentwood, just a little heavy. And a crash reported southbound 55 near Broadway. I can't see it right now. Traffic is just the usual delays from about Arsenal down through Bates, and then A down onto 67 at Double C, backed up both directions. Eastbound 64 busy east of 157 for just about a third of a mile, and then it opens up. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Take your front door from flat to phenomenal. Launch your curb appeal into another dimension during Mosby's out-of-this-world door sale. A new front door can be yours from just $69 a month. Hurry, sale ends Halloween. Details at callmosby.com.
This is Megan Lynch for Ophthalmology Associates. Do you worry about going to see someone about your eyesight because you're stressed about the tests that they might run, and more specifically, the equipment that they might use? Ophthalmology Associates has the latest technology to see inside your eyes and detect issues without discomfort, and they have a great staff that guides you through the entire process. Call 314-966-5000 or go to youridoc.com. You can see the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates, Doctors Greg Birdie, that's who I see, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. From issues like dry eye to conditions such as cataracts and glaucoma, the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates will guide you through your diagnosis and your treatment options. For more information, call Ophthalmology Associates 314-966-5000. That's 314-966-5000, or go to youridoc.com.
Fridays mean football. From a zoo to the NFL, we've got your weekend covered.
On three, ready?
It's Friday football on KMOX.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is sponsored by Mosby Building Arts.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Dave Murray time. Hello, Dave.
Hello there.
How are you? Feeling any better?
No.
Okay.
I grimace every once in a while.
Feeling any worse? Sometimes it gets worse for a few days?
No. No, the first day was like, oh, maybe this isn't going to be so bad. Second day was like, oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's always day two, man.
Yeah, it really is. You always hear that. Don't think about day one. Think about day two. It's I'm trying to keep it somewhat moving, but there are times like sitting here right now, it feels okay. But once I get up, and you have to be, my left arm is becoming very strong.
Yeah. And leave that alone.
Let that rest.
I haven't figured that one out yet.
On my journey with my crash, I spoke to the lady who rear-ended me's adjuster yesterday, and he goes, I'm going to level with you. We're 95% sure she gave you and the cop fake documents. We don't think we have her insured. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's clarifying.
Don't love that.
Yeah. Good thing I
but
had
that
it.
was, but that was her adjuster.
That was her adjuster. We filed a claim with the information she gave us and gave the cops, and it was Progressive Insurance. And they were, from the very beginning, they're like, "What's that third number?" It wasn't feeling great.
Yeah.
But he took my statement. He took the whole thing. They gave us a claim number. And someone new called me yesterday and said, hey, can I just ask you a couple more questions? And I said, first of all, can I just ask you, is she an insured? And he goes, we don't think so. But we're covering all our bases. So,
yeah.
That's
weird. It's weird you mentioned that story because Janice wasn't involved in anything, but a couple of young girls in a car said that she rear-ended her. Janice rear-ended them twice.
It's hard to
do. And there's no damage on our car. There's nothing. The same insurance company, supposedly. And I talked to them about a week and a half ago, and they said, there's something seriously wrong here. Your car is not damaged. They have given us false information. We can't find them anywhere, even though they say they are this insurance company. So as far as we're concerned, this case is closed. But
it's good.
Yeah.
Can I make a point before we do the forecast? This just kind of struck me. 3 stories came out at the same time on my feed. One, we now believe we have actually created a true quantum computer. We have it.
Oh.
Secondly, AI should reach its sentience within 2 years. And the third story was, we're still throwing beers at Rory McIlroy's wife. How did those things line up? What a bunch of dumb monkeys we are, right? Like we're absolutely the definition of uneven. Some of us created a quantum computer and artificial intelligence while others of us are throwing beers at strangers. kind of hard to reconcile.
Yes.
Like if you were an alien watching us, you're like, I can't figure these guys out.
How did they cover the? Well, I mean, there are 8 billion of us, so there are some variables in there.
I guess.
Yep.
Well, now, I mean, yeah.
No, there were some real slobs at the Ryder Cup.
Why are we throwing beers at people's wives?
Just the
because they're trash.
Yeah.
Because they're
If you're
European
gonna
is
throw a
what
beer
it
at a
is.
woman who's at her husband's work just trying to support him, you are trash.
Yeah, I don't even understand what.
And evidently,
well, it's the Ryder Cup, right? So this is, America versus the world, Europe, basically. So because those stinking Europeans are on the other side, we're going to be jerks.
Kevin or Dave may know more about this than I do, but evidently, the PGA hired a comedian / hype man to get the crowd going early on. And so I guess the crowd was like, oh, okay, this is what we're going to do.
I guess it's okay.
I guess it's okay. So you kind of have to blame the PGA for some of that.
Yeah, I mean, why is it? It's just, I don't know. There's something about these leagues, all of them, where like it's enough's not enough.
Yeah.
You're already the biggest golf tour in the world, even with LIV in existence, and you need hype men.
Good point.
True. Especially for an event like that.
Yeah, it's the world. It's the Ryder Cup, man. And also, it's not supposed to be that.
Yeah.
No.
Golf is not that. I mean, it is basically, what is it? The Waste Management Invitational, the one in Phoenix. That's the rowdy.
Yeah.
Everybody's drunk and they all know it, and the players know it and they don't care. But even there, I think they'd care if you were like berating family members and questioning people's heritage and things like that.
And they have in the past. Well, it's the 16th hole. It's a par 3 that everybody goes crazy with. And if somebody gets a hole in one, they start throwing water bottles and stuff. And they've now said that if you do that, we are going to find you and you'll never come back to this tournament again. And last year, nobody threw water bottles.
I mean,
isn't it funny how that works?
It is amazing. Yeah. People may want to do those things again.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my story in Florida. Like, we never stormed the field after a football game. First of all, the Miami police would have arrested your ass and taken you to jail, like real jail. And then other than that, I mean, they were going to maybe throw you out of school.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to get thrown out of school.
Yeah. My mom and dad, like most parents of their generation, were a little too whippy for my taste, but I didn't get in trouble. Not once. Like, I was too afraid of Jack and Francis. So
yeah. And that's a good thing.
So
I think that's a good thing.
Dave, I got the cart out in front of the horse about half an hour ago, and I said, I think that this should be our warmest day of the week. Am I right?
No.
Damn.
He's so
well,
mean.
you could make you could make a case that it is, but tomorrow's going to be just as warm. Thursday's going to be just as warm, and Friday's going to be just as warm.
Damn.
So upper 80s for the most part, but again, humidity levels are low, and nothing changes. And probably nothing changes through the weekend. Yes, it's warm, 10, 12 degrees above average, but the humidity is low. So mornings are delightful. Evenings are delightful. We can handle this. Also, nothing really changes until these 2 hurricanes out in the Atlantic really get moving. And they appear now to both be moving out to sea. Imelda is the one closest to the U.S. Big surf, big waves along the East Coast. That does look like it's going to go right over the island of Bermuda on Wednesday night.
Okay.
That could be a problem. Doesn't last very long because Bermuda is so small, but it is an island out there all by itself.
I don't feel like we have time to do headlines justice, so I'll just throw another thing out here. And this is a political thing, and it's kind of big. We only have like 3 minutes, but it's a DGS. We can do it. I was just watching the Hegseth and the president talking to this amalgam of generals at Guantanamo Bay, and it was all about woke. Woke this, woke that, woke is dead. It's no longer the Department of Woke, it's the Department of War. I accept that all of us define woke differently. I know when I see something I think is woke, it's probably different than what Rach thinks or what Kevin thinks. But in general, do you think that the Trump administration has killed what we would call woke? Or do you think it's just a matter of time till we're right back where we were? Thoughts?
Well, I'm trying to think of a really good analogy for this other than something real. Like it's a terrible analogy, but it's the idea. you can't fight idea. You can't kill ideas. You can make policies, you can make decisions, but when you are not in power anymore, you will not be in control of that one way or the other. Like maybe it won't come back. Maybe it just had its that. And by what I mean is like the super policing of like language and all that. Maybe that comes back. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it was just a thing for that period of time and it comes back in a different form. But you can't kill ideas. I mean, how many times have countries tried to kill ideas? How do you think that the idea of the United States being its own country was tried to that the powers that be at the time tried to stomp that out? You don't think that the British representatives of the crown here in the colonies tried to stamp that out? Probably killed people over it. Can't kill that idea. And I don't think those are the same level of ideas, but like the idea is going to live as long as people that support those ideas live.
Well, look at Nazism.
Right, exactly.
You would have thought
we would
gone.
have stomped that out 80 years ago. Obviously not. There are still Nazis in this world, and they wear the swastika and the whole deal. So yeah, I mean, I don't think you can kill it, but you definitely, when you control three branches of the government, well, it's not really three. You're not supposed to control the Supreme Court, but you control the two that legislate, right? The two that make the law, the one that makes the laws and the one that enforces the laws. So you control those two, and you get to dictate policy for now. But if you're not in control forever, who knows what happens down the road?
Mm-hmm.
Rach, your generation will live with it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I mean, again, the whole woke thing has been taken and turned into something that I think the people who originally started saying that never intended it to be.
Sure.
The right's going to do whatever they're going to do with that word. But no, it's not dead. You would have thought that in 2021, the MAGA movement would be January 7th, 2021.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
I kind of thought that whole MAGA thing was going to fade away because some missteps were made. But here we're back, baby. I mean, it's happening again. So I think Wheels is right. It's cyclical. You can't kill an idea. And I do think there will be a snapback from what we're experiencing now in culture. Yeah, I do.
It's kind of on the back burner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, like all of these types of things, that's not, I mean, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that any of those particular angles is, I think Rach is right. It's been co-opted to mean now anything we don't like.
Yes.
Right. It's not the original things that were considered woke. But regardless of how you define it, most things come down to what we like and what we don't like. And then we try to make the things we don't like sound way worse than they actually are. Because most of the things that that people fight over, ideas aren't just ideas. What you should be doing is figuring out ways to make smart moves and forget labels and all that. But I mean, it's easy to fight a straw man that won't fight back. I mean, what better way? You're not attacking a person. You're not attacking an organization or a business. You're attacking just a word that can mean whatever you want it to mean.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an easy fight because it ain't going to fight back.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
All righty.
Tell you guys about Zero Res. We talk about them pretty much every day. And while we have a DGS special every month, and I have like a quiver full of arrows to shoot at you to convince you that we're good, it still all comes back to me that regardless of the DGS monthly special, you're going to know when it's time. It could be that you have a big shindig and someone ruins the carpet. Could be that you have a big shindig coming up and you want to get it clean. Maybe you're hosting the holidays, your Thanksgiving, or a big Halloween party, nesting for the fall, or just maybe it's just time. You just noticed it. I always say that on any given day, you can put off getting your carpet clean and you can put off calling your dentist, right? Two things that may not be all that much fun, but you need to do. But on any given day, you can put them off. When it's your day, know that we have a great deal for you. This month, 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129, $75 off your air duct cleaning. Call 314-474-2020. You can also book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, EMS are responding for a rescue crash on 141 at Astro Way. This traffic report to Service of Saks Financial. The highways themselves is basically slow. We're westbound 70, slowed going both ways around Jennings Station briefly. Westbound's a little busy through Highway K and west of Lake St. Louis out through 61. Westbound 64, that is on the brakes. Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker, it's slow. Clayton Warson to 270. A couple of pockets from Topgolf to the Boone Bridge. from 94 midway out to Winghaven and 364 to 70, so busier out west. South 270, slow at Page, backed up through Olive, heavy down through to about Doherty Ferry and 44 midway down to Gravelly, northbound approaching 64 to Ladouze, but heavy. Southbound 170 bogs down at Delmar. Southbound 55 stop and go pockets. Arsenal debates. It's a little busy at Z, and then that backup from A down to 67. Westbound 44 busy between the bridges downtown. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Hey, it's Jeff Sachs at Sachs Financial. Did you know that you have a pension and there are ways to maximize how you take it? That's right. It's called Social Security. Find out more at retiresafestl.com/guide. That's retiresafestl.com/guide.
KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra and their monumental tour, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, to Enterprise Center December 23rd at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. A portion of the proceeds benefit Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. And right now, Trans-Siberian Orchestra is offering their lowest ticket price in years, starting at $55, including fees, only for a limited time. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to tell you about 213 Complex, which I pick up at Supplement Superstores. You can too. Look, 213 Complex flat out gets the job done. It is the best product on the market for just natural weight loss. And it's not just that. I mean, there's more to it than that. But the number one thing that 213 Complex does for me and will do for you if you give it the shot is it gets your metabolism working the way that it's supposed to. It's not that hard. Most of us have a metabolism that's off a little bit. It's functioning at 75, 80, 85%. And you want to be functioning at full capacity if you're trying to reach goals. That's what I'm noticing with 213 Complex. Plus, you get the fighting all those cravings. Because, look, cravings can kill you, man. If you're going to eat on a plan. Like, doesn't mean I don't cheat. It doesn't mean I don't eat fun stuff. But it means if I'm doing it, it's part of a routine. It's not just, oh, it's there, I'm going to go grab the cookie. You have the ability to kick that aside in the moment when sometimes you don't. You give it in. But 213 Complex helps with that. You get all-day focused energy, no crash at the end of the day, no jitters like you get with energy drinks, and lower cortisol levels, which helps with sleep, can help with your stress relief, all kinds of great things going on there. I have to walk a really weird line. I'm trying to gain weight lifting, and I'm also trying to lose fat. So I'm trying to walk that narrow line between the two because I got to eat. You can't add muscle if you don't, but I also want to lose some fat, and 213 Complex is helping. I've lost a little bit of weight, and it's the good kind of weight where your belt's getting tighter and all that. It's not the muscle falling off because I don't want to lose that. All you need to do to reach goals, though, is to take the step. And this first step I'm suggesting is go to Supplement Superstores. Then you just tell them, Kevin Wheeler sent me in. He was telling me about 213 Complex on KMOX. They will knock 30% off right off the top. You can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. That's right, weight loss seminar at the Marriott St. Louis West in St. Louis at 11 a.m. Registration 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Welcome back. We have the think tank coming up next. Want to do a couple headlines, Rach?
Yeah, headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. So YouTube has settled their lawsuit with President Trump. They reached a $24.5 million settlement over the suspension of Trump's YouTube account following the Capitol riot. The settlement marks the end of his legal battle with the major social media platforms, including Meta and Twitter. He's alleged that the censorship they put towards him was unjust. The suspension was initially indefinite, but ended in March of 2023. But yeah, now this is all tied up and settled. And I believe I had read that this $24.5 million is going to go straight to the ballroom at the White House.
Couple things that just going to lead me to this. First of all, the remodeling. I don't mind when a president makes the West Wing his own. I didn't care that Richard Nixon built a bowling alley. I don't care that Obama golfed. I don't care that Trump golfed. I don't care that Obama smoked cigarettes. I don't care you have a stressful life. But the White House is our house. And I don't like the juxtaposition of all the gold in the Oval Office and the White House now with paying $17 for a Big Mac meal. Like, people are really struggling, and we are putting more and more gold on the White House. I just don't like that. Just doesn't sit well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a completely reasonable way to feel. People are struggling, like you said. Everything's expensive. And the move of all the things you could possibly be doing, you need to decorate your office more and make it look more like a palace. It makes you scratch your head and just wonder what the priorities are.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want the White House to look like my house.
No.
I want it to be impressive and somewhat intimidating. And when Netanyahu or whoever shows up, I want them to go like, wow, look at this. I don't know that you need gold plate everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a fan of a guy who is already incredibly wealthy getting his get back, which, by the way, if you were wronged and you sue and you win, great. There's a lot of things that money could go towards aside from just going in your pocket to make you richer when you're already super rich, right? I mean, at least that's what we're told.
Well, I'm sure he would say, like, I'm taking the money and I'm putting it into the ballroom that everyone can enjoy for years to come.
Also, I mean, look, I'm not defending him to be certain, but it's not like that money would be going to charity if it wasn't for.
I'm not even saying charity, man. There's a lot of things that could pay for the costs of a lot of these things that we're talking about. Like, you want to do these extra things, do it on your dime. Don't do it on my dime.
Talk a little bit more about this kind of stuff coming up in the think tank. We're going to have a Democrat and a Republican facing off. Michael Spads. Mike, this is easy. Some of my live endorsement clients are not easy. This is easy. You have national companies out there doing bath remodels, and then you have Mike. Mike is a construction guy, and he has done nothing but bathroom remodeling for 30 years. He doesn't do kitchens. He doesn't do general construction. He does bathrooms. So he is incredibly, intimately familiar with the other companies